All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome if you are new here. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I'm waiting patiently for the intro to finish up. I hope everybody's doing well today. It is Sunday, August 23rd, and we have more GTA leaks. Yeah, something's going on. Something big's going on with GTA, which I guess isn't a surprise at this point. Do-rag. No, it's not a do-rag. It's a hat. You can see it's a hat. But yeah, to some people, it's a do-rag. Or it looks like one. But yeah, I hope everybody's doing well today. We're going to be talking about this GTA situation because Take-Two Interactive is taking legal action. They're going after this person. We also have some information on the PlayStation Handheld, I guess the PS6 Handheld. We'll talk about that as well. Looked like a no-brim cap. But yeah, man, it's going to be a busy week. We got Gamescom. Michael, what's up, man? Come here. Come here, boss. I'm doing this now because he knows the trick now. I had to do it now. He knows the trick now, unfortunately. When boss wants his treats, what he does is he'll come into the room like he just did, but he gets dangerously close to my PC. And he's just the right height. He's just the right height where, like, you know how cats, they like to, like, rub up against things, you know, rub their face against things. His head is just at the height where my power button is on my PC, where all he has to do is just rub against it one time, and that's it. So rather than take the chance, I just give the beast what he wants. I give him the treats right away. I'm not waiting. I'm not risking it. Not risking it. So, oh, man. Yeah, the Netflix... Dude, people are memeing on GTA right now. The Netflix thing is coming this week, and I think the official Netflix account tweeted about it. And somebody put a picture of it. It says, "Get a second look," and I'm like, damn, bro, like that's rough. Oh, you want the Discord link? Yeah, I could get that for you, bro. I got you. All right, hold up. Here you go, man. If anybody wants to join the Discord, there's the link. Why does Papa love that specific spot? I don't know. I can't tell you. He just chose it one day. You're welcome, Capono. Join it now. Do it. Yeah, I don't know why he loves that spot. He just settled on it, I guess. I don't know. Never really thought about it. But now that you mention it, yeah. New black logo should be red. I've become a Nintendrone. Yes, in case you didn't watch the recent Morning with the Misses, highly recommend it. Go check it out. We did a PO box opening. Quite the surprise. Quite the surprise. Am I gonna frame the Wolverine poster? Probably not. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing yet. Although I am moving some stuff around. Nothing crazy though. Nothing crazy. But yeah, we had a really good time with that morning with the missus for channel members. Definitely some surprise PO box opening, or a surprise PO box opening for sure, for sure. Michael, yes, I'm trying to like not to spoil anything, but I'm just gonna say, Mrs. MBG's been doing a lot of gaming last 48 hours. Okay, lot of gaming. No, Dwayne, I'm sorry, bro. I didn't see your chat. Let me see. Dwayne, for some reason, it's not showing up. Oh, that it's Hideo Kojima's birthday. Was that the chat? Oh, that's really annoying, Irfan. You're just sitting there with a blank screen. That's awful. Yeah, I mean, how old is Kojima now? Is he like 63? 64? Oh, he's getting up there a little bit. But yeah, apparently it is his birthday. I think I saw Jeff Keighley post about it or something. I don't know, I've barely been on Twitter, so like I'm like kind of out of the loop with some things. Some things. Not all things. Melman, thank you for the 500 joules, bro. Yeah, guys, if you want to support the channel, a couple of ways in which you can do that. Become a channel member, gift memberships, super chats, direct donations. They all allow me to do what I do here. I can only do what I do here because you guys make it possible. So big thank you and shout out to everybody who does make it possible. Still letting people just kind of file in here. Hellbound, what's up, man? All right. Thoughts on the PlayStation email? Why would they send that now? Because they're very stupid. I mean, dude, I don't know. People are. I did see that. So apparently, Sony sent out an email, and they're still in the process of, I guess, sending out an email. For some reason, I mean, the timing is weird. I don't know why they're sending it out now, but they're sending it out to all PlayStation customers, basically covering their like main points with the with their terms of service and whatnot. Highlighting the fact that yeah, when you purchase a digital game, you're essentially renting a license, and stuff like that. I do think some people are trying to make a bigger deal out of it than it is than what needs to be, only because it's like, well, I mean, yeah, this is how it always has been. It's like this everywhere, right? It is funny though. It's almost like somebody at Sony is trolling. But I want to remind people, and this is this just goes to show how like people they're not as in the know as they think they are. If you were to really read over everything with the EULA that you agree to, one of the things you're agreeing to is that your physical games are not yours. Just a heads up. Like, that's a thing that's in there for PlayStation, where a physical game is the property of Sony. Now, the whole idea, though, and I've talked about this before, is like, what are they going to do? Are they going to come take your games? They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. So they can't stop you from doing whatever you want with those physical games. But it is funny to me that, like, you literally are agreeing to that. Well, you have no choice. What are you going to do? Say no? But it's just funny to me that, like, that's existed this whole time. And, like, nobody cares. But it is because what is Sony going to do? They're not going to do. What are they going to show up to your house? We got Luna here, too. But yeah, I don't know, man. Irfan, calm down, bro. Jesus. Perfect Image, a member for 30 months. Thank you, man. He says, hey, MBG, how you feeling about Saturday or a weekday that you're not streaming? Mrs. MBG takes over and talks about Nintendo games. MB Gangsta, you a good dude. Thank you for that. Why would you do that? Perfect Image. I don't know why she would do that. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Megan's Minute or something. Perhaps we could do something like that in the future. I don't know if it would be a Saturday, though, to be honest. Luna, what's going on? Don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me. Yeah, Luna's looking menacing. She's like, where's my nip? Where are my treats? MBG. There you go. You're welcome. I know you care about me. Go ahead. Don't hurt me. I was just petting you. See? You know what? I'm not. Dude, she's got the biggest paws and the biggest claw. I don't know why I'm messing with her. She doesn't give a fuck. She will swipe my ass. And it will hurt. Really, Gothmog? Sony sending out that email is just fueling the fire. Some things are better left unsaid, MBG. I mean, bro, again, it feels kind of like a troll. Like, why would they do that? Hey, MBG, happy 2-year anniversary of Concord. Hey, 2-year anniversary of Concord. Let's go. You just got the email from PlayStation for the age verification? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a reason. Let me see. Give me one sec. I'm trying to... Yeah, okay, here we go. Kotaku reports... Sony is still trying to weather the fallout from its unpopular decision to end new PlayStation discs in 2028. Announced earlier this summer, the company already said in its recent earnings call that it has no plans to back off the controversial move. But the outrage among plenty of fans continues online, so the timing was exceptionally poor when the company blasted users with automated reminders of its terms of service this week, including the provision that they don't actually own their digital games. You recently accepted the following PlayStation terms: PlayStation Terms of Service, PlayStation Code of Conduct, PlayStation End User License Agreement, PlayStation Privacy Policy, reads the email posted on the PlayStation Solutions subreddit on August 18th. For your convenience and future reference, we have included full copies of the terms in this email. You bitch. Please retain this email for your records. The terms set out important information about your rights and obligations when using PlayStation. Many PSN users were confused about why they were suddenly getting the email, even if they hadn't used their PlayStation 4 or PS5 in months. And instead of just linking to all of the legalese, the email went on to include each of the sections referenced. For European users, this included Section 1.4 of the software EULA titled License to You, which applies to digital purchases. The only way you'll get PlayStation games starting January 2028. The software is licensed to you, not sold, you dumb bitch. You are granted a limited, non-exclusive, non-transferable, and personal license to play or use the software for your private, non-commercial use on the system or device it was intended for. This license is only effective from the indicated software release date, early access date, or beta release date. Any rights in the software that we do not say are granted to you in this license are reserved, including all intellectual property in the software. The terms go on to list all the things players are not allowed to do with the digital games, including, among other things, rent, lease, modify, or obtain the software in any other manner than through SIE's authorized distribution methods. It's basically a summary of all the restrictions on digital games that are partly responsible for why so many fans are pissed off about Sony killing discs to begin with. So, There it is. I mean, why did Sony do this at this exact time? I don't know, man. It's very strange to me. Like, I just, it's like they're trying to hurt themselves more. Like, oh, what's that? Everybody's mad and angry at us because we announced we're going to be killing physical discs next year. Now would be a good time to remind everybody that you don't know nothing. Got that? I mean, I think most people know this. At least anybody paying attention probably already knows this. But I'm sure there's a reason they sent this out. I'm sure there's a reason. I don't think they did this just because they wanted to. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, you know, it continues on. Guys, by the way, do me a favor. Make sure you're hitting that like button. If you enjoy the streams, if you enjoy what we do here, take a moment, hit that like button. We're almost at 50 likes. For some reason, neither of the cats ate those treats. I don't know why. For legal reasons? Perhaps, yeah. But, you know, when it comes to the whole disc situation with PlayStation, nothing has changed. And I don't think anything's going to change. Oh, hold on. Bug here. Yeah, technically, they're just reiterating what has been in the EULA for a long time already. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like anything new. But I guess the question is, like, why would they send it? Because, yeah, it just creates headlines. Should Herman go? Yes, we did a whole stream talking about Herman and how he's got to go. We did a whole stream. I think it's time for Herman to go. I think it's past time. For the love of God, some leakers should leak Sony stuff to fight for physical disc. I'm not so sure about that, Saul. I only say that because it's not going to change anything. You know, I mean, would it hurt Sony? Yeah. This is just one of those things. Like, I'm looking. So some people were frustrated with me because I was like siding with the leaker. You know, you better watch out. Michael's going to come for you guys if you're not hitting the like button. People were like upset because I'm siding with the leaker, and I think there's like a misunderstanding, perhaps. It's not that I'm like siding with the leaker, like, yeah, I'm rooting for you, man. It's not like that, because to me, it's like, well, yeah, it is unethical, and this is a lame ass way to see this game. You know, that this is just no way around it. This isn't what I wanted. So like, it's just one of those things where it's like, pick a side. That's what it always boils down to. Which side are you on? It's like, I'm not on either side. I'm just saying that, like, I'm not shedding tears for companies and corporations that are not being as attentive to their customers as they otherwise should be. Doesn't make what's going on right. Doesn't make the methods okay. But I'm just saying, I'm not shedding. The only people I would, metaphorically shed any tears for are maybe the devs who are upset that, like, bro, I've been working on this game. I put like 8 years of my life into this game, and this is not how I wanted it to be seen. I can understand that, and that sucks. The leakers, and this is another part of it, they're clearly in it for their own. By this point, it's very clear they're trying to make money, crypto stuff, crypto nonsense. It's like no one's right here. That's the problem. No one's right here. These corporations are absolutely exploiting their advantages. They're taking advantage of the market. And then on the other side, the people who are claiming to be doing this for good reasons, it becomes pretty clear, like, no, that you're doing it for selfishly motivated reasons. And so check this out. We actually have a report here from Eurogamer. Says Consumer Rights Movement Stop Killing Games has released a public statement admonishing the actions of the group, which took responsibility for leaking GTA 6 gameplay footage overnight. Stop Killing Games, best known for campaigning against the termination of online games and for arguing in cases in European Parliament, has urged supporters not to support these GTA 6 leakers, regardless of how they feel about Rockstar. Footage from GTA 6 is leaked, and a group of hackers, whom we will deliberately not name here to avoid giving them further attention, claims responsibility. This is what they wrote on their social media. The footage itself appears to be genuine. Take-Two has already been hitting it with DMCA takedowns, and the speed of those strikes is itself a strong signal of authenticity. The group is using the leak to promote a meme coin, attaching crypto links and QR codes to the footage and asking people to pay for more. Do not send these people your money. No matter how much sympathy you may feel for their actions, this is illegal. And frankly, we feel for everyone at Rockstar having to go through this ordeal again, especially just over a week before Rockstar's own official extended look premieres. Using illegal means to make a point is unacceptable to us and does nothing to protect our right to keep using what we paid for. No matter how strongly you disagree with the decisions of upper management at these companies, these are still thousands of developers who worked hard on this project, and they're the ones being hit the hardest. Channel that frustration into something constructive instead. This kind of act is destructive and helps no one. Worse, it risks tarnishing the reputation of our communities and our chance to make a change. The group that took responsibility for the leak, CyberLeak, reportedly published a manifesto against Rockstar Games on its website, which has since gone offline. CyberLeak reportedly criticized Rockstar Games for shipping GTA 6 without a physical disc, while simultaneously threatening other developers that should they do the same. If CyberLeak can reach Rockstar, no one is safe. This is what the website reads. This is a message to all big corpo: behave or be the next target. Stop Killing Games appears to fear the action of this leaker group and how it may tarnish the work it has done. The work has, to the group's credit, been impressive. The group has spent ample time in European Parliament. So, yeah, I mean, this is where it does start to get even messier, where the actual groups who are trying genuinely through legislative processes and, going through the government, they're trying real hard to do stuff here and make moves. They're coming in saying, like, this is only, this isn't going to help anything. Mark 84G5, a member for 45 months. Thank you for that, man. He says, I saw the first leak vids, but since I've muted every GTA 6 phrase on Twitter, I'm not letting a hacker nerd ruin something I've waited 13 years for. And I can't blame you there, man. I mean, like, I watched the first, I think, 3 or 4, but every day there's something new. And I'm like, I don't actually want to see anymore. Like, this is getting kind of annoying, I am at a point where, like, yeah, I just want to see them. I want to see Rockstar actually show me the game how they want to show it to me. It's not that anything I've seen looks bad, but it's like, yeah, this isn't how I want to see the game, man. This isn't how I want to see the game. I'm not sure who wants to see the game like this. But again, like, so I kind of agree with Stop Killing Games. Like, I don't think we should condone these actions, only because I don't think it's going to actually help anything. However, again, there's shedding no tears for the executives and the people up top who are at risk of losing more money, because it's like, F you guys, Although this would have happened, but that's the big thing, right? Is like, this would have happened either way. That's the realization I'm having, especially because once I learned more about this leaker group and it's clear they're pushing a meme coin, this was going to happen no matter what. It just makes it easier for them to rally people to be like, oh, no physical disc. They don't care. At least I'm pretty sure they don't. California's AB 2426 laws why they sent the email. They, like other platforms, then sent it globally because it made sense to do so, even though it's only required in California. Yeah, I don't even know what that is, bro. California. That Ride or Die Jedi guy with the $2 super chat says, have to rebuttal CyberLeak. Just burn all his tokens. Really? Oh, what is that? Hold on. So are they trying? Oh, hold on. There's a couple things. Yeah, there's like more stuff coming out every half hour. The latest GTA 6 leak. Okay, I don't want to. The latest GTA 6 leak potentially reveals the hacker having access to a build pipeline, or at least several builds from it. And this is 9 leaks now, like 9 2 or 3 minute clips worth of leaks. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's one of those things where, like, there's always going to be collateral damage. And to me, the collateral damage comes in the form of, like, this is a very unexciting way to be seeing this game. But again, I do feel bad for the devs, man. Like, it's not their fault. They don't get to make decisions. But I don't know. Is there people are very much hanging on to this kind of hope, like, if this gets bad enough, what could it do? Could it, like, there's this kind of thought process of if this were to be bad enough, would it have like a trickle down effect where it would cause these executives and these upper management suits to just think twice about certain decisions? Like plant a seed of fear in their mind where it's like, do we want to make ourselves a target? And I can understand from that perspective where it's like why people would be rooting for this, because I've made this argument before, like this isn't how it should be. Like we shouldn't have to worry about the upper management only making the right decision because of what they fear could happen if they don't, when it comes to the whole dark side of the internet. That sucks, and it just, the heart's not in the right place. But there is a question that people ask, and they're like, well, what can we do? What else can we do? And that's why I said, like, it's so tough, because the only thing we collectively as a society and a market is we have to dismiss all these games and all these companies and say, yeah, we're done. And I think everybody looks at each other and they know, like, well, that's not going to happen. It's like people talking about the blackout today. I'm all for it, bro. Like, unplug your PlayStation, smash that shit with a hammer. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But I'm all for, like, do what you got to do, man. Do what you got to do. But you just have to do so understanding, like, people are doing this for a week. Once that week is up, it's as if nothing happened. And nothing's going to happen, There's going to have to be, this is why we are kind of at that weird, like this whole thing with GTA 6 makes me feel like we're kind of at a little bit of a breaking point. I don't know if we're fully there yet, but it feels like it's the least surprising thing ever. With a PC build apparently being teased, PC players may be playing GTA 6 before GTA 6 even launches. Yeah, I saw somebody, they were like, bro, we're getting GTA 6 before we get GTA 6. What's going on? It is very strange. Dude, if that happens, that's going to be cataclysmic. MBG Corp. That's going to be cataclysmic. I mean, it's one thing if Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive have to worry about every day new footage leaking out. We've seen instances like with The Last of Us Part 2 where pretty much almost the entire game, or like Wolverine, the entire game leaks. And Wolverine, there were playable builds, but they were kind of trash. They were really early. What would be truly, I don't know, man, what would be truly devastating is if they did have a build of the game that they could put out there for people, and it's like an almost finished version of the game. That would be, that would be bad. I don't know that they could contain that. I don't know that they could contain something like that. I think they would try, but you're talking about the most anticipated piece of media ever created in human history. So at that point, it's like, I don't know, man. Mercy Clark with a $6 direct donation says, since you're going to experience top tier gaming with a 4090, are you going to pair it with a nice OLED monitor? Hoping you and your family are doing well. Well, thank you for that, buddy. An OLED monitor, I didn't think about that. I have a 4K, I think 144 hertz monitor right now. It's very nice. It's got tone mapping, HDR. It's not OLED. It's a very nice monitor. I don't know, though. I have to put some thought into that. I've never used an OLED monitor. I know that they're coming down in price, though, right? Like, they used to be super expensive, but now they're more ubiquitous. That 4090 is scaring the shit out of me, though. Dude, it's making me nervous what my electric bill is going to be. Let me tell you. But Mercy Clark, thank you so much for the direct donation, my friend. Guys, let's go shopping with MBG. I don't really go shopping, though, too often. My dad used to like shop. He used to like to go shopping. He would always buy stuff. He'd always be taking me to places with him. And I'd be like, oh, God, how long are we going to be here? That Ride or Die Jedi guy with the $2 super chat says, I believe that he gives GTA 6 out ENMAS Sony pivots. Why? I don't know what word you said there. I believe that he gives GTA 6. Oh, so you're saying if they were to distribute like a copy of a build of GTA 6 that people could illegally download, that would make Sony go, we're bringing discs back. I don't know. I mean, I don't know, man. Because I feel like Sony would have to be scared shitless. Like they would have to, and I don't know, maybe something like that. It's hard to say what's, again, this is like phase one. This is like one high level with, you got a hacker group, they got a build of the game, they got something, and they're leaking the shit out of it. The whole game changes if people are starting to download this game and playing it. The whole thing changes. I have no idea how Take-Two contains that. It would be devastating. I don't know that I don't think it would be enough to stop GTA 6 from being successful, but it would be devastating. Like they would feel it, certainly. Would it create some kind of ripple effect that permeates the entire industry and freaks everybody out, where they're like, bro, we have to walk on eggshells now? I don't know. I mean, we saw what happened with Wolverine, and things only got worse since then. You know what I mean? So there's, I don't know. Sometimes it does seem like these companies just don't give a shit, man. Even when the shit's hitting the fan, it seems like they don't care. Because I'll never forget, like, this that group that hacked Insomniac. They were like, we want a ransom, or we're gonna leak it all. And so I was like, fuck you, we don't negotiate, do what you want. And they they fucking leaked it all, dude. And I'm like, I gotta be honest, like, I was kind of surprised Sony didn't do anything, because it's like, bro, everything came out. Everything. People were literally playing builds of Wolverine. Maybe it would have been, maybe you should have just, I don't know. I don't condone that, obviously. Like, it's wrong. But I'm looking at it from Sony's perspective, where it's like the damage done is like, holy shit, dude. So I don't know. I don't know how much worse this is going to get. Venino, thank you so much for renewing your membership, my friend. Venino is now part of the MBG family, and he kicks off today. We got one member today, boys. Let's go.
Holy shit.
Thank you for that, buddy. Let me, Venino, make sure when you get a chance, go check out the Morning with the Misses we did on Friday. It's a good time. We have more members content coming up. John saying that Sony pumps the brakes and at least gives a nod towards it with at least a limited edition or limited support into the 6th generation. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I'm trying not to hold on to too much hope that Sony's ever going to change their decision on the physical discs, only because it's one of these things where I don't want to set myself up for further disappointment. You know, and I don't want to like make any assumptions that they're going to do this, but I don't know. I mean, we know how important GTA 6 is to PlayStation. We know how Sony's been pulling away from PC. If there is a leaked build of GTA 6, it will be on PC. Sony, change your mind, damn it. Stop this. Stop this madness. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, kind of like what you're pointing out here. I still, not to beat a dead horse here, but it still shocks me that this is like a full sweep. This is a carpet bombing of physical media in games, where it's like, okay, so you're like not going to mass manufacture physical games anymore. I guess maybe that makes some sense, but you're going to like, you know, still do some collector's editions with a disc, or, you know, something. Even if it's like limited quantity, even if you charge more and they're like, nah, we ain't doing that. It's like, why? Like that, like, wouldn't it just benefit them And the Sparky Nuts comes in. We got another membership renewal. Hype. Hype, hype. Sparky, thank you so much for renewing your membership, my friend. That's 2 membership renewals today. Guys, let's go for a crazy goal today. I'm going to make the goal in honor of Rich Rod. Apparently, Rich Rod's been asking me to stream later. Don't know if that's going to happen. But in honor of Rich Rod, we're going to go for a 200 member goal today, boys. All right? We're gonna need it all. And I will reveal that I am CyberLeak. I'm CyberLeak. I'm not. Do I look like I could be capable of something like that? Oh, I got a direct donation from Perfect Image. He says, could this be a possibility since Sony's going digital? Could Nintendo take over physical? I'm sensing that because MW4 runs well on the Switch. Yes. Yes. And that, dude, I saw Nintendo, they have like 35 to 40% games being sold physically still. So it completely makes sense for them to still do physical. But I'm just like, bro, why would you just concede this to Nintendo? Completely and entirely. I saw Christopher Dring put out some splits for like physical game sales, something like Astrobot, and I'm like, Sony's out of their minds. I'm sorry, bro, but like if that's like real data, like factual data, the splits are like, dude, a lot of people bought Astrobot physically, like a lot. I'm shocked Sony still goes through with this when they look at their own games, and it's like you still have people buying, at least for some of your games, a lot of physical copies. Brother, all I'm saying is that if Rockstar is the crown jewel of the digital realm, it's fully compromised, then there's nothing stopping similar groups from rallying behind CyberLeague upping the fight. But yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, there is this notion that, in a sense, like GTA 6 is kind of the head of the snake, right? You sever the head of the snake. This is why I think it's going to be so important to watch how this plays out, because I have another part of this that I have to go over with you where Take-Two Interactive is obviously taking action. They're trying to figure out who's doing this so they can take him down. Sparky Nuts, a member for 29 months, says, do you think there's a chance in a future Mr. or Mrs. MBG stream you play some Mario Kart World with viewers? Could be a ton of fun. And it uses room codes. Yeah, maybe we could do something like that. I'd have to figure out how to get it all set up. I haven't even gotten a chance to touch it. Sparky Nuts. It's been all Mrs. MBG here. But that could be interesting. I didn't know they use room codes and stuff like that. I'll let you know. In the future, it's something maybe we could think about doing. That would be pretty fun. I haven't played Mario Kart in so long. Even with the physical editions, all games are stored on servers or digitally and can potentially be hacked. Well, I think one of the things look, again, I'm not saying this is the best way to evoke change. It's not. But it's like, oh, it's Jewel of the Crown. Yes, Sparky Nuts, she absolutely has been. She's a little bit addicted. But at the end of the day, listen, man, here's the truth of the matter. We'll check out that MightyKeef video at the end, or if it'll remind me. Yeah, I saw that, Buzz. Crazy. Here's the reality of the situation, in my opinion. These corporations, such as Take-Two Interactive and Rockstar, Sony, all others, they would do well, in my humble opinion, although I do think this is the reality, I think it's an undeniable reality, they would do well. Boston Tea Party, let's go, bro. They would do very well to just take a half a step back, not even a full step, and just consider, what if we tried to do right by our customers? What if we tried to do something that's good for them? And then that in turn can eventually become good for us. This is the fundamental baseline logic that is seemingly evaporating and becoming non-existent. Where I'm not saying they're not doing anything good, but it's like literally, I mean literally, absolute fucking bare minimum. You know? And I'm all about giving credit where credit's due, where it's like, yes, it is cool that Rockstar is allowed to have an almost unlimited budget and a ridiculous amount of time to create what'll be one of the world's greatest video games, if not the greatest video game ever created, the most sophisticated video game ever created. That is very nice, and that is good, and that does deserve credit. But I don't think that that justifies everything else around it basically being trash. You know, where it's like, we're just going to wring you dry now. Like, that's where shit starts to get very annoying and tiresome. And that's why people, dude, it's hard to find people being against these leaks. They're like, yeah, fuck them. You know, and that's why people who are trying to, you know, people who are saying like this is wrong and we shouldn't condone this, they're getting like made fun of in a sense. Not completely, but they're getting, you know, they're having a hard time because it's like, dude, it's not, you know, it's just the way it goes. Not every person who's working at these companies is a villain or, you know, a bad, even some of these suits, they're not like actual bad people per se. It's hard to say, you know, we don't know them, but it's just like they're not looking at us. They're not listening to us. They don't, you know, they're just looking at the numbers, and I don't know. It becomes like an impossible situation. How do you fight the numbers? Think of the damn shareholders, you sons of bitches. I mean, I can admit this is not how I wanted to see this game, and I'm still looking forward to the Netflix reveal. Make no mistake, I'm still looking forward to the Netflix reveal, still looking forward to the game, and I still think it's going to be an amazing game. But it just sucks to see that things have to be, that there has to be such friction, you know? Like, I think that's the word. It's the friction can be felt, and it's becoming, it's exhausting. I think these leaks ain't changing anything. Netflix will still have huge numbers. The game will still break records on release no matter what gets leaked. People just want to play. I agree. I do agree. You know, this is where, when things start going in the direction that they are, like we're seeing with these leaks, the question does have to be asked, like, does this ruin it? Like, does this cause substantial enough damage that it like halts everything? As of right now, I'm going to say no. But yeah, I think there's just a fundamental understanding that people do want to play the game. You know, it's just, whether you watch the Netflix showing or not, whether you're watching these leaks or not, whether you're rooting for one side or the other or not, there is millions and millions of people who don't even know that this is going on, and they're just going to be there buying the game, you know? Why wouldn't you want to see the game the way it's been shown on the leaks, actual gameplay? This is how we will experience the game when the game releases. Well, I guess just because it's like, I don't know. I'm not opposed to the idea of giving the developers the chance to, like, listen, we worked on this game for a long time. We kind of have we have like a rollout of, because I think there could be like a buildup of some kind, you know? The thing about the GTA leaks, from what I've seen so far, is they're not like, to me, they look fantastic. When I say look, I don't mean like the actual visuals, or, I mean, you could tell the graphics are amazing. I just mean like this. Yeah. This looks pretty next level, man, compared to most other games. This kind of looks like what I expected. And we're learning more and more and more about the, you know, the level of detail and the sophistication of the mechanics. that are in this. And I'm like, yeah, this is what I expected. It doesn't hurt me. Like it's when I say like this isn't how I would have wanted to see it, I just mean literally it's like the first way I wouldn't want the first piece of gameplay I see from a game like GTA 6 to be a low quality HDR broken with multiple watermarks on it. You get what I'm saying? Like that's not how I would have like if they put it out and it's like here's 4K HDR 3 minutes of just raw gameplay high fidelity, I'd be like okay. Like I don't mind that. But you get what I'm saying? Hopefully that explains it. Where it's like I don't mind seeing the game in action. It's like, oh yeah, cool. I'm getting a look at like, oh, so this is what the game's like. Cool. But I get what you're saying. Like I'm not asking. I don't want to be like I don't want to be bullshitted either. I don't want. Sometimes these companies and these developers they like overmarket their game and they overinflate it to a degree where it's like, can we just see the gameplay now? I don't want that either. So it'll be really interesting to see how. I think it was revealed that this upcoming Netflix GTA showing is going to be like 30 minutes or something. It's very surprising to me if it's that long. Like that's longer than I would have expected. Hold on one sec. I got to tell you guys this though. It says the hunt for the GTA 6 leaker is on. Take-Two has reportedly filed multiple subpoenas in a federal district court to force information out of Microsoft and Discord related to anything, OneDrive data, Xbox accounts, or Discord users that might reveal who leaked the GTA 6 gameplay videos online. The copyrighted material includes, but is not limited to, audio-visual content, artwork, images, dialogue, and other creative elements, reads a subpoena filed with the Southern District Court of New York on August 20th. Take-Two, through its counsel of record, has submitted a sworn declaration confirming that the purpose for which the DMCA subpoena is sought is to obtain the identity of an alleged infringer or infringers, and infringers, that such information will only be used for the purpose of protecting Take-Two's rights. Both Microsoft and Discord apparently have until September 4th, around 2 weeks, to produce all information related to the CyberLeak persona, which has taken credit for the GTA 6 leaks. Take-Two is seeking information, quote, sufficient to identify the users or the person, end quote, from Microsoft, including details like account IDs, registration emails, IP addresses, phone numbers, and linked Xbox and Google accounts. Discord, meanwhile, has been petitioned to hand over all user accounts that are/were members communicating with the Discord servers, such as CyberLeak, Cinematic Rockstar, Surfer24K, Odyssey, and Dark Viper AU. We're into the third day of leaks now, and a seventh leaked video. We're actually up to 9 now, with the latest showing. Well, yeah. So, yeah, according to Jason Schreier behind the scenes, like they're kind of scrambling behind the scenes. Yeah, they're scrambling. I'm not going to lie. I've been doing everything I can to not pre-order the game and protest, but the leaks are making it difficult. It's doing the opposite. Bro, if it takes them 2 weeks to turn that over, it's going to be long. That boy's going to be long gone. I mean, yeah, they're trying to go after this person. Well, what else would they do? I mean, I know. It's not surprising. I'm curious to see if they end up catching him or not, because we saw what happened with the first person who did it. Granted, the person who's doing it now seems way more, I don't know if professional is the right word, but like, I guess you could look at it as before it seemed like you were dealing with an amateur. This person seems like a professional. Maybe we're wrong, though. All I know is that the person that got caught before, they're still in jail. They're still in jail. If they find the leaker, he's going to face up to 50 years in prison. Titus says, always be on your own side, guys. Yeah. Or she. It could be a woman. Who knows? But someone said mentalism. Is Rich, I bet Rich Rod's low-key the leaker. We haven't heard from him in a little while, Michael. That is true. Legion of Doom, bro. Well, is there hope yet that, that this could turn things around? Perhaps. Perhaps. Hold on, I have to go get my drink. It could be a furry. Oh, that would be quite the twist. Sorry, just very thirsty. If full story or game code leaks, that will impact sales undoubtedly, especially because story leaks would spread across the entire internet. Yeah, I mean, I think it would affect sales. I don't think it would affect it enough to like cause a massive like crater. But I just think it would ruin, I think, like, I don't know, there's like a mystique around this game. I think a lot of people are tethered to it, that I think a lot of hype dies possibly with it. Depending. I mean, it could be all good stuff, Like, again, it's funny because it's like the leaks that they're showing, it's like this game doesn't look bad at all. Like, this looks amazing. So it's going to be a very good game. So, Tribal Chief, bro. I'm not saying that I've got a direct source by any means, so keep that in mind. But I will say that even my Force Ghost guys have solid respect for the people that this guy is supposed to be with. Interesting. Got somebody on the inside, boys. Am I excited for this Ori 3 leak? I saw that. I don't know. I mean, it's a little weird to me, to be honest. Like, Ori 3 is apparently being made, but not with the original devs. Like, Microsoft has greenlit in Ori 3, but the original devs seems to want nothing to do with Microsoft. So, it's a little strange. But it is surprising that we're apparently getting an Ori 3. People really like the first two. I never did play Ori 2. No, I played the first one, not the second one. But I like the way I play. It's I don't know, I struggle with those types of games. But they were very well made games and, critically acclaimed. Yeah, there was like some kind of falling out with Moon Studio. I think their next game, No Rest for the Wicked, it's not even coming to Xbox. Max Payne 3 was made by Rockstar and not Remedy. That's true. That's true. Like, it could be amazing. It's just it feels unexpected, Like, it seemed like there was such a good thing going between the Ori devs, Moon Studio, and Microsoft. Doing this is kind of a power move. It's Rockstar. Their games don't get leaked like this. I mean, yeah, I guess that is kind of true. I mean, I don't recall. Oh, Vlon, by the way, I missed your super chat. You're saying that Jean Grey gameplay can't be real. Was LOL. And it was old. That was an old build, Vlund. No worries. Vlund, they already confirmed you're only playing as Logan and Wolverine. So what's interesting is they were going to make you play as Jean Grey, but they cut those parts out. Apparently, they cut quite a bit, which is fascinating to me. So, like, if you think the entire game was ruined for you because you checked out all the leaks, apparently not. I mean, this happening to Rockstar, is it a power move? Maybe a little bit, yeah. It's a little bit of a power move. Not completely, but I mean, I don't know. It's stuff like this. Yeah, I don't recall something like this happening to Rockstar, to be honest. The Last of Us 2 story leak saved you from buying the game. Yeah, I do think the situation that occurred with The Last of Us Part 2, I do think that hurt it a bit. Yeah. I mean, dude, that was a fucking nightmare. That was worse than this. Like, I think that's why I'm just kind of like, eh, with this whole GTA leak, because I'm like, bro, I don't think anything's gonna ever top The Last of Us Part 2. Like, that was crazy. If you want Mrs. Heavy G's cookies, spam hell yeah in the chat. We want cookies. She made some peanut butter cookies yesterday. Some giant ass peanut butter cookies. And I asked her what she thought, because I didn't try them yet. And she tried them. And she was like not too pleased with them. She was like, "Oh, okay. I think they might need to be a little sweeter." And so I like went into it. I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like I braced myself. Like, all right, these are gonna be. I have to lower my expectations. I think they're fucking amazing. I'm like, dude, these are like they don't need any more sweetness. They're perfect. Perfect. They're really damn good. So I don't know, man. I'm gonna get real fat. I'm gonna get real fat. Cookies are biscuits in America? Yes. Or no. Wait. Yes. Correct. Buzz, you're correct. I'll take two. Take two interactive. Titus wants the cookies. I showed the wife a picture of the cookies. They were on the Discord. Moves are happening, hopefully before we go on holiday. Damn. Just got real. Me and my daughter have been bugging her mom to make peanut butter cookies. And they're the ones from the store that you just have to place on the cookie sheet and put in the oven. And she's not doing it. Damn, ghetto god. Gonna have to make your own peanut butter cookie. I'm spoiled. I'm not gonna lie. I'm spoiled. Like, I had one of these peanut butter cookies. Why do you think I'm so revved up today? I had one of these peanut butter cookies before I came on. I'm gonna get so, dude. I had to work out earlier too. I've definitely been trying to exercise because I'm like, I need to exercise. I'm going to become very large very quickly. Sugar cookies are great. Shut your mouth. Sugar cookies are good. So what do you call cookies? Wait, now Buzz, you've confused me again. I think in the UK, you guys call them biscuits, right? Cookies are called biscuits. In America, they're just called cookies. Biscuits are something completely different. Biscuits are like bread, kind of. So I'm not saying that my life, my shoe. But yeah, the thing about the peanut butter cookies she made, you think you were just grumpy yesterday? You had one now and you like them now? Well, yeah, we had a big dinner. I couldn't even eat them after dinner because I was so full. But I thought they were going to be too peanut buttery because they were peanut butter cookies with like, it seemed like you put like peanut butter on top, like more peanut butter. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Like that might be a bit much. Nope. Came out just right. So scones are good. We're already talking about food. We've talked about GTA leagues and we're talking about food. Chocolate chip cookie. Like a chocolate chip cookie is a cookie here. And there's like hundreds of biscuit types. Okay, now I have no idea what's going on. Sounds like you guys are overcomplicating things needlessly over there. We got a chocolate chip cookie, and then we got like hundreds of biscuits. So wait, hold on. You're saying you call chocolate chip cookies, not biscuits. Well, then why would you call everything else biscuits? I mean, I guess I can understand that. Like the chocolate chip cookie, maybe it's like it's its own thing. I don't know. I'm an ignorant American, so what do I know? Oreo biscuits. A cookie is different. I'm looking now. If you mean the soft, fluffy, savory bread rolls served with breakfast and gravy in the US, British people do not have a direct equivalent. They generally just call them American biscuits or describe them as a type of unsweetened scone. Okay. Yeah. It says British people generally call most cookies biscuits. However, they do not use the word cookie specifically, or they do use the word cookie specifically for large, soft baked, and chunky treats like chocolate chip cookie. Okay. So that's what you were just saying. Jeez. Interesting. I'm gonna start messing everybody up now that I know personally. And I'm just, every time I see cookies, I'm gonna be like, biscuits. It's time for those biscuits. Mrs. MBG's making more biscuits. Mm. Your cats make the best biscuits? Same. Oh, man. Bro, do not send me a freaking R2D2. Are you like... Although I am kind of interested in how my cats would react, but goddamn. All right, back to gaming. It's too early to be going this off the rails. Send MBG the R2D2. Jeez, you're saying America is only 250 years old. There's a pub here that's 900 years old, MBG. Yous make things complicated. Perhaps. Yeah, that is true. No, you might be onto something there. You know, with like our metric systems and stuff. Like we got a foot, we got a yard, and we got an inch. Why? Because America. That's why. Oh boy. All right. What were we talking about? We were talking about GTA. Are you going to be able to... Wait, hold on. Are you going to be able to eat and get fat in GTA again? Hold on, I'm looking this up now. Jesus Christ. What? Dude, what? Can I sell this thing? Hold on. A Star Wars Galaxy's Edge R2D2 appears as a roaming interactive character, an interactive remote control toy, and an ultra rare life-size custom astromech unit built to scale for roughly $25,000. Is that... I don't know if that's the one you're talking about, but holy hell. And Silent Spartan! I'm over here reading about R2D2. Silent Spartan comes in and he drops to 50.
Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in.
50 member gifts. We're going for 200 today, boys.
Oh yeah, outside interference here.
Told you we were going for 200. Silent Spartan must have heard.
I'm living in a nightmare, and I am the cream. On balance, off balance,
we could do
doesn't matter. I'm better than you are. Yeah, I'm on my way.
Can I make R2D2 say that?
Stop me! Nothing's gonna stop me.
Okay, hold on. Can you make it so that the R2D2 has that specific soundbite in it and it just says it randomly? Imagine a fucking life-size R2D2 just busting into my fucking room saying that shit at full volume. Or busting into my room at night when I'm sleeping. Wake up screaming. Silent Spartan, he's second selling the cookies. Yeah, I don't know. It's looking like we're gonna have to figure something out with doing like a cookie service. Spartan has spoken. Everybody wants the cookies, man. I mean, fuck. We could make that work. I'll just retire. You know, I don't talk about video games no more. Talking about video games just stresses me out. I'm just kidding. Well, sometimes it does. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll be on the lookout for that, Spartan. Yeah, I'll be on the lookout for that. I'm going to talk to my brother-in-law, and we're going to take it from there. Still can't believe you're sending me that, bro. That's and you're dropping bombs, gifts. That is. Oh, said the word that YouTube doesn't like. But thank you so much, Spartan. Not only is this man dropping 50 member gifts at a time, he's sending me a 4090. This man is blessing me. Thank you, man. Oh my God, Ray. The 10th leak is out. What's the 10th leak, Irvin? Ray, that's fucking awesome. Okay. That, I don't know why, that's like the most amazing thing I've ever heard. The idea of a life-size R2-D2 that's like automated, just roaming around my house, saying random lines from Mickey Rourke's Rogue Warrior. Oh boy. Okay. Now I'm living in a dream. Now I'm living in a dream, man. That's awesome, dude. I got a tracking number if you want it. Yeah, if you want to drop it, I'll hold on, let me bring up my notepad. Yeah, whenever you want to drop it, Spartan, I'll write it down. Now I want that R2-D2. Irfan, thank you for that, bro. Let me see. Spartan, I don't think MEG understands what you're giving him. I do have an understanding now. And I'm like frightened. I legit am probably like at some point I'm gonna be asking you guys, like, listen, we gotta hit a higher goal because I gotta pay my electric bill. I couldn't believe what my electric bill was. I'm not even gonna say what it was. I couldn't believe what it was last month. So gonna have to be careful with this thing. With great power comes a great electricity bill. But yeah, man, I have a couple games that people already gifted me very generously on Steam. Like I have Gears E-Day. I also have I have the Metal Gear collection as well. So even I'm still getting the Metal Gear collection for PS5, but I'm going to try it out on PC as well. I don't know how quickly I'm going to get things up and running with this 4090. It might take some time. But it's I'm looking at it as like an investment, you know. And at some point, hopefully in the not too distant future, I'll have a fucking mega, like an insanely powerful PC that I probably don't even know how to, it's like, I don't know if I deserve this, but I'm looking forward to it. Water bills are about to get crazy. Wait, hold up. Irfan, let me see what this is you sent me. The 10th GTA 6 leak is out. Flying a plane at night. Scale of the city is insane. Huh. He's like showing off some of the radio stations too, which is interesting. Fishing spot for large common snook. Shows up when Jason flies over a body of water. He's flying a crop duster. Goddamn. Yeah, I'm trying to refrain from watching anymore, to be honest. I don't mind like reading about it, but I don't know. I kind of want to see it. Hold on. Oh my god, dude, that the fucking watermarks are so annoying. And the quality is only at 720p, but my god, bro, it looks so fucking real. They brought back V-Rock. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, you guys can check these leaks out if you want. That's just GTA 5. That's not... Nah, dude. It's... I don't know. It looks much more realistic, in my opinion. Even just at 720p, it looks much more realistic than GTA 5. I got a couple of direct donations, too, by the way. We have Marcus Edwards with a $6 tip. Thank you for that, buddy. He says, I miss where the res smoke... Sorry, why did I read it that way? Where there's smoke, there's fire, era MBG. I read it that way because the RES was capitalized. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Wait, so when you say that, what era are you referring to exactly? Where there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's smoke, there's fire. That era of MBG, I mean, are we talking about the blue point? Not blue point, the blue box? I'm confused. Well, I would use that saying a lot. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I would use it oftentimes with like rumors and stuff. When rumors would start to build up, and I'm like, where there's smoke, there's fire. Can you hear that stuff? By the way, can you guys hear? Can you hear the sounds playing through? Hopefully you can. And then Marcus Edwards says, that's interesting. Wait, what? What's it? I'm confused. Thank you, though. Okay, I guess we're just straight up having a conversation through direct donations. Exactly, LOL. I mean, yeah, I guess I understand what you're saying. I guess I don't have... My level of I guess I've been doing this for so long that, like, I don't have as much base level... I don't want to say intrigue. I don't know what word I want to use to describe it. I don't know if enthusiasm... Like, my enthusiasm's still just as high. I guess I don't know, I don't have my head in the clouds as much anymore. You know, where I used to have my head in the clouds where I'm, like, imagining all possibilities. It's like, it's real. It's real, guys. It's going to be real. And then, like, occasionally it would turn out to be real. You just say those things all the time, LMAO. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I used to... I get what you're saying. Like, I used to cover... I still do. Like, we cover leaks and we cover rumors, but for a while there, like, I was fully just like a leaks and rumors channel almost, you know, where, like, that was the big thing, where we would cover, like, one rumor for... And some people couldn't stand it. Some people got, like, they hated it. Other people loved it. But yeah, I've changed a little bit. He's leaked the wasted animation. Uh-oh. Oh, and Cape Crusader with a $5 direct donation as well said, another leak. To those looking forward to the game, I suggest muting GTA 6 on Twitter because this fool's going to eventually spoil the story. Madness. Yeah, I think that's kind of the... I think what makes me so almost indifferent to these leaks is that they don't feel consequential to me. The story stuff is what I don't want to... I know that there were, like, 2 very small cutscenes he leaked. I didn't watch those. The latest leak he put out, I mean, I'm fine. I don't know. I don't mind it. It's just, you know, it's just showing him flying in the city at night. It looks really good. Looks very good. Hold on. Guys, by the way, do me a favor. If you haven't already, please make sure you're hitting that like button. Hitting the like button lets me know you're enjoying the content. It helps tremendously. Hold on, I have to close some of these tabs because for some reason they are... Yeah, so when it comes to the GTA leak, I think it's safe to assume that they're just going to continue to leak more and more and more footage until, they get caught or something happens. I do think there is a concern that they're going to start leaking more story stuff. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully they don't. Let me see if I missed something. Somebody was asking if I got their chat. Let me double check. Oh, Gordon Jelson, I'm sorry, bro. Yeah, I almost skipped over your milestone chat. Member for 33 months. Thank you for that, Gordon. He said, it was a pleasure seeing you in the Mrs. Friday. Always makes me a little happier. Congrats to Mrs. MEG on the Switch, too. A what now? Gordon, thank you, man. I'm really glad you enjoyed the members content. It always makes me feel good when, people show appreciation for that, because it's something I try to do for the members. We try to make some stuff happen. You guys make it easy, though. You guys sending stuff in the P.O. box, you're making it super easy. So thank you so much for that. And I'm glad you enjoyed it, bro. It has been confirmed that he does not have the complete build of the game, since he hasn't shown anything of Lucia. Whatever he has is incomplete. People are saying that he's teasing that that's what he's going to show next. But that is the question, if he has a complete build or not. Well, yeah, the map looks absolutely massive, dude. My God, it's monstrous. The Lucia gameplay is coming. Well, saying it's so sus how these leaks are happening just before the Netflix show. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Netflix reveal is still going to go down really well. I say this just because, there's going to be a whole presentational value to it that no matter how many leaks you watch, it's not going to be the same, That's kind of what I was alluding to earlier. MBG, if the leaker really wanted to put egg on Rockstar's face, they'd go to the beach and show just how packed it is. But there's barely any NPCs on the streets, if any, so he's got an early build with pedestrians off. That's actually that's a good point, Cheese. Like, I didn't really notice that, but you're right. I mean, the screenshots we've seen of like the beach and other areas, I mean, they're like densely packed with numerous NPCs, and nothing we've seen so far. I mean, this is the second time he's flying a plane. Either that or, I don't know, I almost have this feeling like they're trying to build up to something. Like they're like trying to roll it out incrementally. But yeah, the question is whether or not they have a full build and how much they can tweak it, if they're tweaking it at all. What is this you're sending me, Irfan? Hold up. What is this? Irfan versus... hold on. Hold on. Hold on. You guys got to see this. I got to bring this up. Irfan, that shit's funny, man. Respectfully, I feel the NPC content we got in the official trailer was geared more towards the PC version than the consoles. As much as I would love 120 and 4K, PC is going to be the closest thing. Yeah, it is difficult to determine. I mean, I don't know though, because in the trailers, they say like, oh, this was captured on PS5. When they put out the screenshots, I don't know if the same is applicable or not. Yeah, I saw that one, Cheese. I saw that one. For, research purposes only. Where Hold up. Kratos, when Atreus starts disobeying him and acting out.
You think I'm playing? I'm not playing. I'm gonna rip your head off. You think I'm playing?
Dude, that okay. With the fucking God of War music in the background, bro. Mark 84 with a $10 super chat says Rockstar did this to themselves. They don't talk. They're arrogant and money hungry. Even paywalling the next trailer on Netflix. I don't think they'll catch this dude. He's going to drip feed every day. Well, I mean, that's kind of what a lot of people are saying, right? A lot of people have this feeling that these companies that are like Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive, they brought it onto themselves. I mean, again, I agree somewhat. Like, I do think these companies they've pushed the envelope a little too far. I still get this feeling that this is going to happen either way, though. But maybe I'm wrong. I mean, maybe this is a direct result. But Rockstar, I mean, I guess we've heard we've heard rumors of what some of their plans are for like GTA Online and stuff. And there's rumors there's going to be a subscription. There's rumors that, I mean, I saw a rumor you're going to be able to make real money or something on GTA Online. I don't know. Is this going to change the course at all? Sorry, I had to increase the lighting a little bit. I don't know, Mark. You think with this level, it's absolutely a direct result? GTA 5 gameplay was 6 weeks from launch, and Red Dead Redemption 2 is 6 weeks from launch. Rockstar always do this. We just live in social media age now where people want everything now. Yeah, well, that's true. That's a great point, Cheese. Yeah, I think that is how their marketing always was. I think that, I don't know. I guess, yeah, the age of social media or with the way social media is today does feel like it has kind of changed people's expectations quite a bit. There is like an overall a different expectation. Bro, that clip you sent me was funny, though. Yeah, but Dave Bautista is officially cast as Kratos now, by the way, guys. In case you missed it. So Ryan Hurst was going to play Kratos in the show. And they even filmed, I think, like 4 episodes or something. But then he tore his bicep, which is a pretty significant injury. And they decided to replace him. There were reports that Dave Bautista was in talks to play Kratos. Now it's officially confirmed. Dave Bautista is playing Kratos. So I think he'll do a good job. He seems like he'll make a good Kratos. Can't play that one because of the music, but dude, that'd be so funny. Kratos comes out doing that. Bro, you and I have been around the gaming scene long enough to know that this is definitely somebody from our generation or older that decided that Take-Two CEO pushing Sony All Digital was that fuck around, find out. I mean, here's my thing with it, right? Like, the reason why I think there could be some level of truth to that, where maybe this wasn't actually destined to happen, right? The reason why I think there could be some truth to what you're saying, Jedi, is because whoever's doing this, again, is kind of a professional and good enough to where they could kind of do anything. But they chose this. Not to say, and I don't want to underestimate GTA, don't get me wrong, like GTA is of great importance. GTA is massive. You know, it'll definitely garner a lot of attention. But there's so many things going on in the world, you know, that I guess what I'm trying to say is that if this was a person, and I'm not trying to make it sound like they're a good person. Again, I don't know. they're clearly trying to do some stuff with crypto here to a degree. But I guess what I'm trying to say is if this was just about making a lot of money and that's all it was about, I think there's many, 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 many other ways that are much more low key that they could have done. That doesn't involve something like this. So it is interesting to imagine that, certain decisions that have been made by corporate executives could have potentially been the catalyst for certain people out there making the decision that, okay, yeah, let's do this. Whereas if they didn't, maybe this wouldn't be happening. It's an interesting thought, certainly. No doubt. Only the fake beard, though. Yeah, yeah. My question is if Bautista, if he's gonna like really bulk up again, because he's older now. I mean, you can only be going on the roids like that because he was huge, dude. Dave Bautista's fucking massive and on a lot of juice. And you could see in recent years he obviously got off the juice, and especially when you get older, like you don't want to be, you're taking a great risk. There's no old bodybuilders. There's very few. Yeah, I mean, the only way they end up living longer is they have to go off the stuff, off the juice. I do wonder. I have to imagine he's probably going to be like, they're probably going to cycle him for a little, I think he'll be okay to like get big again, as long as it's like in a controlled manner, monitored. 6'4" and 240 after slimming down. He was bigger than Jason Momoa at the recent premiere. Yeah, he's a massive guy. he's definitely gonna. I do think that. Oh, hold on. Oh, hold on one sec, guys. I got a strange notification. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Growth hormone enlarges your organs. Dave is going to put a little bit of weight back on, but he's not going full out WWE format physically. He already stated that he had a major health concern staying that big. Yeah. I mean, I think you're probably right about that. I don't think he'd be able to go back to, because dude, I mean, to get that big, like you got to be on some heavy stuff, and it definitely takes a toll on your body. Oh, that's funny. The Guardians Christmas special has a joke with someone calling him Kratos when he was Drax. It's come full circle. Incredible. I love it. Yeah, I know growth hormone like causes an enlarged heart and stuff like that. But we'll see. I mean, he's a really good actor, I think. I mean, The Rock, he is still pretty famous. He I think The Rock is widely considered like the most successful. Perhaps. I don't know if successful is the right word, but like the most, I don't know. He's just been kind of everywhere, right? Batista, he seems like, what's interesting to me is he seems like he actually wanted to start to be taken seriously as an actor. But although it's kind of sad because apparently The Rock did do that one movie. I forget the name of it, but he did that one movie where it was a drama and he was playing, it was like a, like a biopic, and apparently like he was really, really good in it, but like nobody cared. Like that's kind of sad. Bro just wanted to be taken seriously. But yeah, Batista just needs good directors. All his best roles were with top directors. John Cena as Kratos. That now, no. Like Dave Bautista, I can see as Kratos. Yeah, the Smashing Machine, that one, Gothmog. Dave Bautista, I can actually see as Kratos. John Cena, absolutely not. No. No, I cannot see him as Kratos. The Rock, I could see The Rock as Kratos more than I could see John Cena. You know? Dude, if AI can make Hulk, they can make Batista look bigger. I mean, yeah, maybe they'll do something like that. I don't know. I distinctly remember Hulk Hogan being the most successful wrestler in Hollywood to date. Oh yeah, true. Let me see. Who is the most successful wrestler turned actor? It says Dwayne The Rock Johnson is widely recognized as the most financially successful. Although it doesn't even mention Hulk Hogan. 10 wrestlers turned actor. Dave Batista, Dwayne Johnson, John Cena, Roddy Piper, Adam Copeland, Kevin Nash, Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's big acting breakout was Suburban Commando. All right. Yeah, it's interesting. Like when you look into it, there's a lot of wrestlers that turned actors, man. It's like more than you would expect. Stone Cold is Kratos. Well, there you go, Dave Batista. He is he's our Kratos in the show. So, how are we feeling about this God of War show? I mean, for me, I'm very nervous about it. I have to be honest. I feel like Sony has been very hit or miss with their. Well, I don't want to say very hit or miss. That's unfair. I think Sony's been pretty consistent so far. Like the Uncharted movie was seemingly okay. I watched the Until Dawn movie. That was pretty good. Like that was better than it should have been. So that was fine. I did watch the Twisted Metal show, and I think so far the Twisted Metal show might be my favorite. Oh, that was weird. Music just started playing. Yeah, the Twisted Metal show I think might be the best one so far. But we got to talk about The Last of Us HBO because like The Last of Us HBO season 1 was good. Season 2 I thought was a train wreck. And season 2 of The Last of Us HBO made me realize that oh yeah, this can go real bad real fast. I didn't see the Gran Turismo movie. I heard that was pretty decent too. And so when I think of the God of War show, I'm like, please God, just don't be a train wreck like the Last of Us season 2 was. God, I still see memes of that show, and I'm like, what the hell were they thinking? I don't think the Ghost of Tsushima movie's happening. You left it midway. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. A total miscast. They changed the story in some ways, and they missed the total miscast. And honestly, like I won't be watching season 3 of The Last of Us HBO. You know, MG The Rock's movies are on top. They have made between 12 to 14 billion dollars. Jeez, I didn't know he was that successful. I mean, the way people talk about The Rock as an actor, you would think he was putting out flop after flop after flop. You know, like it's horrible. They feel like they have to make changes to speak to the casual audience. Well, I saw that there was this Christopher Judge clip. I want to see if I can play it for you. He talked about this. Let's see, I wonder if it'll come up. Here we go. Yeah, so this is Christopher Judge had to say this about game adaptations recently.
My problem with all game adaptations, you have this pre-existing successful property, and the first thing you do is not hire anyone associated with it. The Last of Us, love Pedro. Were they better than the game cast? I saw a stage reading they did. It was unreal. I have no idea why you don't just take that cast, those writers, especially when you're gonna do episodes that are shot for shot remakes of the game. When Amazon, when it was finally approved and announced, and they didn't hire any of the God of War writers, what are you thinking? Like, these guys have been immersed in this world for 20 years, but someone's gonna know better between God of War and God of War Ragnarok and the previous games. How many copies has that sold? I guarantee you it's 1/100th of the audience of God of War. Yeah. So you can't tell these writers how to tell stories.
Well, geez. What do you think? Do you agree? Jedi, you're saying, bro, it's been fun. Got to roll. Have 275 miles until DC. Have to meet up with the local chapter. Love and respect as always, brother. May the stream be with you. Well, thank you, man. And good luck with your ride, bro. I hope it goes nice and smooth. Didn't he take the job off the original Kratos? I mean, I agree with some of what he's saying. I think he's highlighting a problem that does seem to occur somewhat frequently, specifically with video game adaptations. And that problem is seemingly, you get too many people involved that don't seem to understand like the original source material and like what made people attracted to it in the first place. But the other area I disagree with him though on is how he talks about specifically The Last of Us. He talks about Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker and how they did a stage play. And he was basically saying like their performances were better than what we got on the show with Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey. And he's like, oh, why don't you just get the actual actors? I'm like, well, that, there's limitations to that, I believe. Like, you can't have Ashley Johnson playing like she can play a 13-year-old girl in a video game. She can sound like a 13-year-old girl, but she obviously can't play a live action 13-year-old girl. And I don't think Troy Baker, maybe Troy Baker could maybe play Joel, but I don't know. I agree and I disagree with what he's saying. Like on one hand, yeah, you would think you'd want to have more people who are involved with the actual creation of these properties involved with these adaptations. On the other hand, though, I feel like there's limitations to that. So by his own logic, he took the Kratos role from the old OG one. Shouldn't he be in the wrong then with what he's saying? I mean, I guess to an extent. I guess so. Yeah. It's one of these things where I guess it depends on your view of it, If you're like, if he feels as strong, honestly, based off of his logic, if he feels that strongly about it, you would imagine he feels as though he should play Kratos. But perhaps he could. Maybe he auditioned and they're like, no, which is crazy. Like to play Kratos in the show. But I don't know. I mean, there's always the concern, I think, with these adaptations that they're gonna get some of the wrong people in there that are gonna make too many changes that are gonna make it be like, bro, what is this? Josh Z, a member for 76 months. Josh, 76 months, man. That is incredible. Thank you so much. You're saying video game adaptation is tricky, but Nintendo and Sega have done the best so far because they adapt while respecting the source material. Seemingly, yeah. I know they have that Legend of Zelda movie coming out, which is done with Sony Pictures, which is funny. And it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. I know the Mario movie was a huge success. I saw that with the family. Sega, dude, even, yeah, the Sonic movies are doing really well too. Yeah, they're doing a good job. They're doing a good job. I think that, I don't know, like Sony, I do think that Sony has done an okay job so far. I think God of War is going to be the big one. I think if they mess God of War up, I don't know. It's like you guys maybe should take a break from this, you know? Really curious to see how the HBO Last of Us season 3 does, because it did seem like a lot of viewers, when they when they saw what happened and they're like, "Oh, I'm curious how the viewership is going to react when it's like, here's a whole season for Abby." I mean, I don't know. Maybe they'll be fine with it, but this is a very important question that MBG must resolve now. Wait, what are you talking about? A doner kebab or a chicken kebab? I guess a chicken. I I guess chicken. I don't know. You were joking. I couldn't. I'm like, is this important? Mario's with Sony too. Oh, I didn't know that. Was not aware. The whole point of these multimedia projects is to bring in well-known Hollywood actors in order to expand the franchise, not to just reuse the same actors again. That would be pointless. I mean, it depends. Like, I don't know. They were talking about doing a Ghost of Tsushima movie. I don't know if that's happening now. We haven't heard anything about it. But like, to me, it sounds completely insane. The notion of, here's a Ghost of Tsushima movie, and we're not going to use, I forget the name of the actor, but the actor who played Jin. He literally, they used his face. He is Jin Sakai. It's like, that's weird. Like, when it's that close, to me, it is weird. But I understand, but you're right. Like, they look for big names. They want big names because they want more exposure, and that makes sense too. But Sony gets too bogged down with trying to be cool. Maybe, yeah. I don't know. Like, it's interesting because if you see the Twisted Metal adaptation, I'm like, dude, this is way better than it has any right to be. Yeah, and that's what's weird is like it's a bit all over the place. Like I expected the Twisted Metal show to be awful. I'm like, this is actually kind of amazing. Like, this is really good. And even season 2 is good. Apparently they're making big changes to season 3 though. But Tribal Chief, you'll have to check it out, man. Yeah, you'll have to go watch that stream. It says you have a membership, so you do have access to it. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but do I like or dislike the Halo series? I mean, I'm pretty much indifferent to it. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, today I feel like Halo is a shell of its former self as an outsider looking in. Like, it just doesn't seem exciting anymore, doesn't seem big anymore. It seems like they're struggling to try to, stay as relevant as they can. Speaking of shooters, like, guys, I haven't been looking too much into it, but I've been seeing some Modern Warfare 4 gameplay, and like, oh, somebody was just asking thoughts on the COD MW4 beta. I mean, dude, like, I feel like Call of Duty's reaching a breaking point soon. I remember a couple of years ago when we talked about Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard, and there was this idea that like Call of Duty would start to decay. It would start to slowly crumble, not because of Microsoft, but just because it's like it had a 20-year run. How much longer can it sustain this momentum? I don't know, man. I'm looking at Modern Warfare 4, and we saw what happened with Black Ops 7. Black Ops 7 apparently kind of flopped in the context of what a flop looks like for Call of Duty. I don't know, man. Like here's the thing about Modern Warfare 4. I'm like, dude, this literally looks like the last 3 Modern Warfare games. Like it's almost like offensive. Like, guys, people used to make fun of like Call of Duty being a reskin, but they kind of knew when to stop. Like, okay, maybe like 2 or 3 games deep, and then we just move on to like we make a different type of Call of Duty. Now they're just like, no, we're just gonna keep reskinning it. It's like, oh, okay. Honest question from a non-COD player: how does the gameplay look different? To me, it's always looked the same. I mean, I'm at that point now too. Like at the way it used to be with Call of Duty is you would have Infinity Ward. I guess it is still this way, but you have Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer Games, and they at least at certain times tried to change enough, at certain points to make it feel like they're not just reskinning. But as time has went on, and there's this imperative of we got to do another release this year. We got to do another Call of Duty. It's like they've run out of juice. I'm going to be honest. Like that's what I think that's the problem with Call of Duty is like Black Ops 7 was different and nobody liked it. Well, this is where I just think like at some point it just maybe starts to become clear that the Call of Duty fatigue is just setting in, where it's like, it's not even that people I think want something totally different. It's just, I think people want a break, but whether or not Microsoft would ever allow that, I don't know. All I know is when I see Modern Warfare 4, I'm like, bro, are you kidding me? Like, go look at Modern Warfare 3, go look at Modern Warfare 2, and go look at the 2019 reboot. It's like, it's the same game, man. It's the same exact game. I mean, at least like when I played something like Black Ops 6, they're like, it's the 90s. I'm like, okay. And it did have a kind of unique aesthetic to it. Maybe it's because I grew up in the 90s and it felt nostalgic, but I'm like, it felt different enough. And that was a pretty fun Call of Duty, but I don't know, man. Like I look at Modern Warfare 4 and I'm just like, I don't know what happened to Infinity Ward, man, but they're just not, obviously they're not the same Infinity Ward that made Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, MW2 back in the day, but Treyarch's still your favorite? I mean, yeah, Black Ops 7 kind of lost me, but I have to admit the last Call of Duty that I thought was actually genuinely fun, where I'm like, I'm having a good time with this one, was Black Ops 6. But we'll see what happens with Treyarch. I'm curious to see what Sledgehammer might do, but I don't know. I think my Call of Duty days might just be over. I put so much time in Call of Duty over, the course of 2 decades. It's like, I think what bothers me so deeply about Call of Duty, putting aside the fact that they kind of like reskin and just kind of rehash, I think what bothers me so deeply is that they basically continue to have their cake and eat it too, where it's like, we're going to sell you a $70 game every year. It's a sports title. And I guess, because you might ask, well, like, doesn't this bother you about sports titles? And I guess it does, but this just feels more egregious because it's not a sports title. They sell you a full price game every year, but then they're like, it's going to be a live service for 1 year. And then we're just redoing it. We're cycling it again. And I'm like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like, I became completely disillusioned with Call of Duty. As funny as it sounds, like I told you guys I played Black Ops 6, and I don't normally like go crazy buying skins and stuff. Like that's just not usually what I do. In Black Ops 6, they dropped the skin that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to break a rule for this one. They dropped a Terminator 1 Arnold skin, and I'm like, and they with the voice lines, and I'm like, God damn it. So I purchased it, and I used it for all the time I played, for as long as I played Call of Duty. And then like they were like, okay, now it's Black Ops 7. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, yeah, you're not taking anything with you. And I don't know why that shocked me so much because I know it's always been like that, but I guess it's just because it's like, dude, it's like 2024. And I'm like, wait, I just I'm just leaving this behind? Like I don't get to take it. I was just shocked by that because I'm like, bro, this like what are we doing? Like what the fuck? What like this was a total fucking waste of money. You know, it's like, yeah, you can use it for like a year. Like, granted, you can use it for as long as like I could go play it right now if I wanted to, but it's just like it doesn't nothing moves forward. I'm like, that's stupid. Like that's insane. I did buy it. I won't lie. I was maybe a lapse of judgment, but I'm like, bro, how often do they add a Terminator 1 skin to anything? Literally to anything. I was shocked by that. Which is weird cuz like Terminator 1 came out in 1984, but the game was set in the 90s. You think it would have been like a Terminator 2 skin, but I digress. But the point is like yeah, they're just like, no, we expect you to just move to the next game and buy skins for the next game. And that's it. And then you use that skin for like 6 months or whatever, and then you rinse and repeat. I'm like, that's stupid. I'm like, this is fucking stupid. Like, Call of Duty should be a perpetual live service game where everything you buy is there. Like, I don't know. It shocks me that there are studios and live service games that have figured this out that are significantly smaller than like Activision and these Call of Duty studios, and they still make it work. But yet you have studios Infinity Ward and Treyarch, and they're just like, no, we're not doing that. And I don't know. It's just yeah, we're gonna talk about the PlayStation handheld. That's the next topic. They probably would have carried it over, but everyone complained about how goofy the skins were. It did get crazy. I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess Arnold won. I guess an Arnold Terminator skin is kind of goofy, but I don't know, man. That just really left a bad taste in my mouth where I'm like, fuck this. You know, like this is why I'm kind of just leaning back to, I'm kind of going back to like, I'm just going to play single player, man. You know, I'm exhausted. I've played so many live service games for so many years. I'm just exhausted by them. Although, I'll see what happens with GTA Online 2, but I just feel so exhausted where I'm like, it's true what they say, man. Like these games almost start to become like a job. Like they just are constantly throwing shit at you and it's like it never ends. I'm like, I don't know. It gets to a point where it loses any feeling of true satisfaction because like it just never ends. Oh yeah, the T1000 is in Mortal Kombat. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And in Conan as well. I have that. But GTA Online 2 is going to be so grindy. Yeah, I don't know. That's where I feel kind of weird about it. Like I just assume I'm going to play GTA Online 2, but maybe I won't. I guess it depends. I have to see them present it, and I have to see what they're going to be doing. Horizon Hunters Gathering Day 1, baby. Call of Duty won't stop doing it until people stop buying it. It's top 10 game every year. Yeah, I mean, I guess you just have to wonder how long it can go on for. I mean, every year it's the same thing. The sports games are in the top 10. Call of Duty's in the top 10. Fortnite's in the top 10. And I don't know. Like, at least with Fortnite, everything kind of sticks with you. It's persistent. So you can understand why people would stick around with it. All right. Guys, let's talk about the PlayStation 6 handheld. We do have a report here. Why is okay? PlayStation 6 handheld cannot hit $600. AMD leaker warns as AI data center demand devours memory. So it says here, under the current market conditions with high prices for components such as RAM that show no signs of abating for a few more years, the PlayStation 6 and Project Helix are set to become the most expensive gaming systems ever released. In Sony's camp, however, the rumored handheld is a glimmer of hope, as it could offer an affordable entry point into the next generation of consoles. However, this may not be the case, as well-known AMD leaker Kepler L2 suggests a price below $600 could now be impossible. Quote, $600 is definitely not possible right now. This is what they wrote on the NeoGAF forums in response to another user's question about LPDDR5X memory, the dominant standard for most consumer devices. LPDDR memory is actually seeing the biggest price increase since it's being used in a lot of data center products. So heavy adoption of AI is once again the main reason why gaming hardware and consumer hardware in general are becoming unaffordable for many. With the PlayStation 6 handheld's price potentially higher than most expected, the current generation PS5 is set to remain the gaming system of choice for many. Although the system's price was increased this year, another price increase is thankfully unlikely in the near term. Kepler L2 briefly touched upon the possible consequences of the current prices of GDDR6, which have forced AMD to increase the prices of the Radeon RX 9000 GPU series for the PS5, and there should be no cause for concern. Quote, Sony CFO made a comment earlier in the year that they secured enough supply for the 2026 sales, while AMD tends to buy memory only for the next quarter. This is what the leaker said. However, the situation remains challenging. RAM prices fluctuate a lot right now, and I don't know how good of a contract Sony managed to get, so it's hard to say. But they are most likely selling at/near cost, Kepler L2 said. As such, to avoid raising prices again in the future, Sony may have to monetize current users by increasing prices for games and PlayStation Plus subscriptions, which would further sour the company's reception. Jeez. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's interesting to hear from Kepler L2 about the PlayStation handheld. The handheld, so I'm sure most of you here, if not everybody here, already knows that it leaked out a while ago that not only is there going to be a PlayStation 6 home console, which is to be 100% expected, there's also going to be a handheld that Sony is planning to release. And this is not like a cloud streaming handheld, like a PlayStation Portal. It's not like a second version of the Portal. This is a proper handheld. Like this is the same, this is like something very similar to what you see pretty much every other company doing now, except it's going to be just in the PlayStation family of devices. And so there were people that were kind of holding out hope that, okay, well, if Sony is going to be forced to sell the PlayStation 6 at $1,000 or more, if it still launches next year, then at least they're doing the handheld. Maybe that will be cheaper. And truthfully, it will be cheaper than the actual PS6 home console, but it does seem like it's still going to be an extremely expensive device that is going to be very niche. If it's going to be more than 600, I mean, you're looking at a minimum price point of $700. I don't know that that's going to have mass market appeal. MBG, even before the price rises, I always said the handheld would be expensive if Sony wanted to do all the things people said it would do. It was always going to be $500 or $600. Yeah, I do think it was always going to be somewhat premium. Like I could see it being the cost of like a PS5 when the PS5 was like $500. But it's getting to a point where I'm not saying there's no point to the device. I think it's fine that Sony wants to put a device like this out, but it's like if it's going to be $700 or more dollars, and the same can be said. See, here's the big problem. I want to point something else out here that it's another report, and this kind of coincides. Push Square says Sony CEO Hiroki Totoki has implied the ongoing memory crisis affecting the entire hardware industry has come at a fortuitous time for the PlayStation 5. He was interviewed by the Wall Street Journal about Sony's transition from electronics to entertainment. He was asked whether spiraling component prices had come at the right time for the PS5, considering it's already sold over 95 million units. And he says, quote, "It is lucky. We're at the latter half of the life cycle for the console, which means we do not need to aggressively sell the console today. Rather than that, we're focusing on the current user base, and already PS Plus has more than 125 million active users today, and how we monetize those users is quite important for us." So he says PS Plus. I think he was just referring to, um, I think he just meant to say PlayStation Network, because there's no way they do not have 125 million PS Plus users. It's very strange to hear the CEO get that wrong. But PS Plus, I think, is probably around like 40, 45 million. So it continues by saying, while this is a direct quote from Totoki said in the interview, I actually think he made a mistake here. While it's true that PlayStation has 125 million MAUs as of June 30th, it's highly unlikely these are all PS Plus subscribers. In fact, Sony does not disclose that number publicly, although when it did, it tended to have around 40 to 50 million members. However, his comments are broadly consistent with what the company's been saying for quite some time. It wants to wring its existing fan base dry. While this probably is a sound strategy during this period of turbulence, the platform holder needs to work much harder to ensure that the customers are satisfied. These past few months have been the most tumultuous I can remember since the PS3 era. And moreover, the timing of the memory crisis may be lucky for the PS5, but it spells disaster for the PS6, which may not have a release date, but is going to have to come out at some point in the relatively near future. Totoki's never going to show any concern in a carefully media-trained interview like this, but I'm not sure it's all sunshine and rainbows behind the scenes. So yeah, it's just never an exciting thing, you know, to hear. Oh yeah, we're just gonna find ways to monetize these guys further. Like, yeah, that's what we want to hear. I'm starting to think Hiroki Totoki is like the wrong guy, dude. I don't know. He got he said 125 million PlayStation Plus users. That's not true. You just lied to shareholders, buddy. Digital Foundry is speculating that Sony may drop the RAM in the PS6 handheld by 10 gigs. Issue is that AI tech inside it will heavily rely on RAM, and that was one of the biggest selling points. If they do that, it's cooked. They're literally setting up like a Xbox Series S situation for themselves. New poll from the leaker is out, and Beach is one of the options. Uh-oh. Well, there we go. The leaker's listening. He is a numbers guy. Yeah, Hiroki Totoki's been there a long time, but he is a numbers guy. But the reason why I wanted to read that while we're talking about the PlayStation 6 handheld is because listen, guys, I'm operating under the assumption that the PlayStation 6 handheld, whatever this PlayStation handheld is, and the PlayStation 6 are not getting delayed. I'm just operating under the assumption these consoles are still coming out when Sony originally planned for them to come out. And even if it does suffer a delay, it's not going to be something colossal like 2 or 3 years. It's going to be like 6 months to a year at most. A year would be significant, but my whole point here is like, dude, I almost wonder, like, I wonder if what Hiroki Totoki is saying is a bit of a hint of, it's a bit of insight, perhaps, into their broader line of thinking, in that, yeah, we're going to focus on the PS5 user base and the monetization of that user base. Now, obviously, when we hear that, we And it's, it's understandable. This is what Sony has done. We jump to conclusions that they're going to increase prices and make everything worse. But I almost just wonder if like a part of what he's saying maybe confirms, maybe, that like, yeah, you're going to be relying on the PS5 user base for like many, many, many years to come. Like, in other words, this is part of the plan. Part of the plan is that it's totally okay if you don't want to buy a PS6. We just want you to continue buying on PlayStation, which again, Sony's not really setting themselves up in a great way to make people feel comfortable doing that, which is ironic. But that's the thing that I can't get past here when we talk about anything related to the PlayStation 6, the handheld, the console itself. I can't get past the fact that, like, dude, no one's going to leave the PS5. Not no one, but the vast majority of people are not leaving the PlayStation 5. Listen, man, I have a PS5 Pro. This console's awesome, in my opinion. I think the PS5 Pro is a great console. Again, it corrected the problem, the only problem I could identify with the base PS5. The only problem I identified with the base PS5 is sometimes it seems like the visual compromise in order to hit 60 frames per second consistently is a bit too significant. And so the Pro comes in and says, okay, well, what if we made it so you didn't have to compromise? Although, ironically, we just found out that the Blood of Dawnwalker is going to be a 30 or 40 FPS game. Bro, what? But GTA is going to be 60, right? Even I sit here. I mean, listen, when it comes to the PS6, people still obviously there's like, oh, you're going to buy a PS6, you're going to buy a PS6. As it stands now, it's like, dude, I'm perfectly fine with the Pro. I have absolutely no desire to upgrade to anything, especially knowing how expensive it's going to be. Now, obviously, I have a YouTube channel, so it's like I could do the thing that pretty much most other YouTubers do, which is like, oh, I buying it, covering on my channel. But the reality is, like, if we sit here and if I say to you guys, like, okay, what could Sony do or show that's going to make us say, you know what? We need to go get a PS6. Like, I need a PS6 day one. I genuinely am not sure. And I sincerely mean that. Like, I've really thought about it. And I'm like, there's only one thing. The only thing is if they show some awesome looking games that I really want to play. And they're like, these are only on PS6. If they do that, that does change things. But if they're like, yeah, these are going to be on PS5. Like, everything you saw today is on PS5. I mean, if they announce a Bloodborne remake as a PS6 exclusive, they might get me with that. Yeah, they'll get a lot of people with that. But this is where I'm like, I'm trying to think of features. What features could Sony offer with the PS6 that would make me excited? I already have 4K. I already have 60 FPS. I already have HDR. I mean, insane ray tracing, path tracing, maybe. But I'll be honest, I've never really, like, I have to admit, like, I've kind of reached that point. Like, dude, if like what I'm seeing of GTA 6, I'm assuming we're seeing like a PC build, but assuming that build is somewhat representative of what we're going to get on the PS5 and PS5 Pro, it's like, I don't know, man. We know you. If the PS6 is playing a better looking version of the game, you'll want it. I mean, I don't know, man. It depends. It depends, man. Like, I'll put it to you this way. If there's, let's say Fizzant. Let's say Fizzant is going to release on PS5 and PS6. And it's like, it runs at 1080p on the PS5. it runs at 4K on the PS6. That would, and it's you know, not on PC or anything like that. That would influence me. Where I'm like, bro, I don't want to fucking play this thing at 1080p. But I would have to sit there and question, like, why is this thing playing at 1080p? So I don't know. It, like, if we start seeing shit like that, like if you see the Blood of Dawnwalker game, that game's going to run at 30 FPS on PS5. There is no 60 FPS mode. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't seem good. Maybe a huge amount of must-play games, 120 FPS. MBG, dude, you're going to be able to play Path Trace games on your PC in a week. It's going to take... I have to do a whole new build, Titus. The graphics card he's sending me literally won't even fit in my PC currently. But eventually. Dude, that's insane. That's scary, actually. Why would you buy a whole console for GTA 6 60 FPS, or would you just play it on your PC? Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's... My whole thing is, like... My whole thing at this point is... I just can't see... I'm going to give Sony an opportunity for many things, you know? I got to get a fund. I know, Titus. I know. Yeah, I'm gonna be talking to my brother-in-law and what we're gonna be seeing, what we're gonna do there. But oh god, when does GTA 6 release on PC? Well, we don't know yet. 5090 is PS6 Pro power. I just realized you said PS6 Pro. Not PS6, PS6 Pro. Well, this is what I mean, where it's like, I think this is it for Sony, man. Not in a bad way. In a realistic way. Like, I just think I wouldn't be surprised if there's just like a kind of, if we see some weird situation occur where like more people are buying the PS5 than they are the PS6. I want you to think about that for a second. That's a real possibility. If things go the way they're looking like they're going to go, you might still see, like, here's the sales data. Initially, the PS6 will sell more than the PS5, but after like 6 months, after a year, like we're getting new NPD reports or Circana reports, and it's like, yeah, actually the PS5 is selling more copies than the PS6. This is where I just don't know what Sony's going to do. Sony could get hyper aggressive, and they could be like, every game is PS6 exclusive. Go crazy with the marketing, go crazy with the feature set. But even with the feature set, I'm trying to think, like, what could they offer? We need a 1,000 watt gold power supply, current gen motherboard. Your memory, I think, is good. DDR5 and SSD can be transferred. Case, good one. Water cooling. We'll get a spec sheet. Yeah, clearly. But then who's going to build it? You trust me to build it? Apparently Monkey can do it, but not me. Use your imagination, MBG. Yeah, I don't know. I've lost a tremendous amount of confidence in Sony. Not because I don't, like, I think that there are still people working in PlayStation that I do think are good. You know, like, they know what they're doing. But I get this sense that, like, there's actually a lot of people there now that don't. That, like, they don't, that, like, to put it simply, like, that they don't have the answers. You know, like, I think the answers were more obvious back in the day. You're like, what do we need to do with the PS4? Here's what we got to do with the PS4. Like Herman Hulst, yeah. They need amazing exclusives or a controller that is as generational as the DualSense was. Playing Neo 3 right now at 240 FPS, locked at 4K max settings. The PS6 is going to be a hard sell for a lot. Jesus, 240 FPS. What does it even look like? 4K max settings, bro. Smart. What's your electric bill, man? Oh yeah, I mean, you have to wonder what they would do with the DualSense too. The DualSense was amazing. I admit that for sure. That was one of the things I thought I actually was undersold on it when I first heard about it, and I'm like, oh, okay, you know, they're the haptic feedback, yeah, sure, but then I actually used it, and I'm like, oh, like this is actually genuinely different. Kipford, a member for 64 months. Thank you, Kipford, for that very long time support, man. You're saying, haven't been around recently, but still supporting. Thank you. I will officially stop supporting PlayStation after physical dies. Won't get the 6 or digital games. FPS. Well, I mean, that's the thing, man. When it comes to that's the thing. Like, we were talking about the PlayStation 6 and the next generation for many, many months, following every report and every rumor. This was well before Sony announced they're ending physical discs. Them ending physical discs, I don't think is the nail in the coffin. But I think it's one of these things, like, for some people, like, there is going to be some level of bleeding that occurs. It may be an inconsequential amount, but bleeding nonetheless. And I just think it's one of many. I think the PS6 could be a death by 1,000 cuts type situation. MBG new Kojima game will release day one on PS6. I mean, bro, I'm just going to straight up say it. If Fizzant is a PS6 only exclusive day one, come on. You got me. You know? But I'm pretty sure that game's launching on PC as well. Here's my question. My question is it going to be PS5? That's the thing, man. Is like Sony is going to be facing a real problem that they have to make. The most important decision that Sony has to make is this. When Sony starts to see that people are not gravitating, well, actually, it's not even that they're going to start to see it. They have to make this decision before they announce the PS6. Are you going to go hyper aggressive? We are doing everything in our power as aggressively as we can to force you into buying the PS6? Or do they embrace the idea that we understand the PS6 has no prayer of being a mass market device as it stands, so we're gonna make sure PS5 players feel just as important as, you know, people who are buying the PS6? Everything that I see in front of me right now, I don't see how Sony can be aggressive. Like, they can try, but it's like, dude, I don't know. Because sure, maybe somebody like me, I get weak in the knees for something like Fizzant if it's a day one PS6 exclusive, but that's just me. The vast majority are like, what is this game? You know? That's the problem for Sony. It's not, so I'm saying it's not really about me. It's about what they're going to do with the PS5, man. Sparky Nuts, you're saying this. Spartan, your generosity is insane, man. Shout out to you. Michael Warneth as well. Hooking MBG up with new platforms. Yeah, you guys are insane. Really, really great community we have here, man. Very grateful. Shocking, genuinely. I mean, it's saying the PS6 is the PS5 Pro since the PS5 Pro can't even run some games like the Dawnbreaker or Blood of Dawnwalker. Well, yeah, I mean, it's the CPU inside the Pro. It's the same as the base PS5. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it's Sony's got their work cut out for them, man. And yeah, I've talked about this as well, though, Irfan, as you're pointing out. Like, it's easy to be down when Sony ain't doing shit. But it is true when Sony. I don't know though, man. Like, I haven't seen Sony with the juice in a long time, bro. I gotta be honest. Like, a couple things here and there, but like, we're gonna see. Like, they might be saving all the juice. They might be saving all the juice for when they go to reveal the PS6, but they're going to have a lot. Spartan says the man is supporting a family, and I would prefer he has the option to remain on YouTube as long as he wants. Thank you for that, man. That's incredibly kind. Yeah, bro. I mean, not only did bro, he's like, oh, I'm going to ship you out of 4090. He's dropping 50s on you guys still. Like, insane. Really appreciate that, man. Sony has no option but cross-gen games. 20 plus million people are still on PS4. Imagine what the PS5 numbers will be. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I read Hiroki Totoki's comment because I'm like, is he starting to say the thing? Like, just floating it out there a little bit. Like, yeah, PS5 is, yeah. Like, it's basically going to be, let's just face it, PS5 is going to be PS6 Lite. The PS5 is going to be the PS6S. Like, that's my ultimate prediction here. That's what I'm trying to bring this down to. Is like, I think people are going to see the handheld and they'll be like, oh my God, it's going to hold it back. It's like, no. The PS5 is the PS6S for the next 5 years. Maybe not 5, but like at least for half the generation. You know, we saw that with could we say the PS4 was the PS5S? Could we say that? Kitford with a $5 super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, would it be far-fetched that PlayStation cuts PS5 support earlier to force people to upgrade? It would be a disastrous move for them to do that. I mean, they can do whatever they want. If they were to do that, it would... Because you have to think about the developers, too. Like, so even if Sony said, we're not thinking about the customers, we want to force our customers to buy a PS6, okay. But the real problem would be how developers would turn on them. You know, how does Sony force developers to not release? How does Sony force developers to make games for the PS6 and not 5? Good luck with that. So there's no way Sony can do that. Like, what I'm trying to say is that can't happen. They can this is the wall that Sony's going to run into, where it's like the thing that Sony has relied on for 5 generations, and it has worked for them, and I don't blame them for trying to do it again. But the thing that they relied on, you know, I don't think that exists now for them, or it's at the lowest. Again, it has the least amount of. They're going to get the least amount of juice, Jesus, the least amount of juice from that squeeze than that they've ever gotten before. Where it's like you're going to squeeze and try to get every drop, and it's going to fill up like a quarter of the cup. To whereas before, it would fill up almost the whole cup or half the cup. You know? Yeah. This is the first generation where a console is an appreciating asset. Yeah, and I feel like that alone kind of makes everybody realize, like, no matter how much of a console fan you are, which I am. I've always loved console gaming. No matter how much of a console fan you are, like it's there's something went very wrong. Right now it's not getting better, and it's happening at a time when, like, well, the next generation is around the corner. What does it mean? And I think it means Sony's going to have to treat the PS6 like the PS5 Pro. That's what I think. We're going to have the we're going to have the PS6S. We're going to have the PS6S Pro. Then we're going to have the PS6. And then we're going to have the PS6 Handheld. Boom. There you go. You got 4 devices. They're all... Imagine if Sony does some crazy shit like that. Imagine if Sony's just like, guys, we're we're not selling PS5s anymore. We're rebranding the PS5. It's a PS6 now. And the launch model PS6 is the PS6 Pro. I mean, they're not going to do something like that, but the reality of the situation, and I think this is why I felt it so important to highlight what Hiroki Totoki said. The reality of the situation is that they're going to need to rely very, very heavily on that 95 to 100 million PS5 install base for years to come. You know, whether or not that means I don't think it's actually relevant to the PS6's success, where it's like, I think the PS6 is just going to do what it does. You know, it's going to sell 50% less. It's going to sell 40% less, 30%, whatever. It's not going to pace with the PS4 and the PS5. And that's the big thing with it, you know? That's the big thing with it, where it's kind of on a downward trajectory. And so Sony, because they're so focused on, and that's why Hiroki Totoki's saying, like, we're going to do further monetization. Well, we still got to grow. But I get this sense too that Sony is very much waiting and watching and hoping that things change, you know, with the whole RAM crisis and whatnot. Surely. Saying he doesn't know what path tracing looks like right in front of you and at a super high refresh. Holy hell. Those Chinese games are going to be epic. That's just what PC is, all different levels of power and performance. Yeah, but the whole thing is, like, Sony wants to do this. The whole thing is Sony's keeping their ecosystem closed. And this is why, like, I've encountered some of the strangest things in the last month and a half. One of the strangest things I've encountered where people, not many, but, you know, I've encountered them and they're like, bro, you're upset about physical games going away, like Sony ending physical games, but so your solution is to, like, go to Steam. And we've talked about this, and I'm not gonna rehash the entire thing, but it's like, this is why I'm saying, like, there's a question that we are waiting. No, Spix fan. There's a question we're waiting to have answered by Sony. And that question is simply this. On a scale from 1 to 10, Sony, 1 being we're not doing shit, 10 being we are going full send, all out, every possible thing we can do to make it better for you. On a scale from 1 to 10, how much are you planning on changing and improving the entire ecosystem that is the PlayStation ecosystem? In my humble opinion, that's the only question that needs answering and that matters. Because Sony, they have this intention. They're not hiding it. And this is what makes Sony seem so insane. You know, from a social media perspective, but, you know, it is a perspective nonetheless. Is like they have this idea, like, we want to further monetize you. And we're going to do that. We're going to monetize you. It's like, okay, what's in it for us? And that's where Sony's not saying anything. It's like, so what's in it for us, huh? And it's just like, and you know, they can't. That's the question that needs answering going into next gen. And people are debating right now. Most people are leaning on one side. And it's like, Sony's not going to answer that question, dude, because you already know the answer. They already gave you the answer. The answer is we're not giving it. There's nothing in it for you. Like, do you want it or not? Don't you want this game we got? Like, it feels like it's going to be that. But to me, I'm like, bro, that is horrible leadership. Like, that's the big thing that gets me is like, anybody involved in making a decision, like, you guys know you're digging your grave. Like, maybe right now it's a shallow grave, but you're going to dig it deeper over time and you're going to place yourself into it. You're going to place the company and the brand into it. Like, you want to do the opposite of that. And you like, surely you understand that, right? And I just think that there's this genuine, kind of like, it's not a concern. It's not even a fear. It's just a belief that like, no, dude, that is what Sony's doing. But here's where things get even crazier, guys. And this is why, like, I don't mean to be so defeat. In case you're wondering why I'm so defeatist, why I'm not partaking in the fucking PlayStation blackout. Hold on. I gotta find it. I have so many tabs open. Give me a second. I'm ill prepared as usual. Consumers rewarded Sony's decision to stop manufacturing physical games with enough sales for the PS5 to overcome the Switch 2 in the US. This is the first time the console has been above Nintendo's new system in a while. Although there's an important caveat to keep in mind. The PS5 beat the Switch 2 in dollar sales, not units. In other words, the Nintendo machine sold more consoles overall, but the higher average selling price of Sony systems pushed it ahead of the Switch 2 in terms of revenue generated. Still, I think this is probably seen as a win for PlayStation. The much newer Switch 2 has been kicking the PS5's ass in terms of units and dollar sales up until this month. So it's surprising to see the two trade blows again. Even more interesting is this data accounts for the period between July 5th and August 1st. So it's after Sony's announcement that it will stop manufacturing physical games. The platform holder said during a recent investor report that it has seen no impact of various protests. They weren't lying. They weren't fucking lying. Like, that's the scary part. Everybody was like, you're lying. You're not going to admit that you're seeing an impact. Like, no, they actually didn't. What the fuck are we doing? Like, did you see? This is why, like, by July 15th or 16th, I'm like, I give up. I could just tell. I'm like, ain't shit happening, bro. And here we are. We have the data, and the data's like, yeah, it's, I don't know. What are they going to do? Apparently, you make more money. That's what they're going to do. Oh, hold on. Who's saying for me to read it? Cheese, you're asking me to read your last. Cheese, you're saying best way to look at it, if my PlayStation gets a ban, it's basically turned into a paperweight. If my Steam account gets banned, my PC's still a PC. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah, you don't have that on the PlayStation. Well, hold on. It says here, it says, to be fair, the overall unit sales for the PS5 were down by 39% year over year. A reflection of the current economic situation and high hardware prices. Probably also the fact that the PlayStation 5 generation is kind of saturated at this point. But so what are customers spending their money on? Well, the shitty digital-only PS5 port of Black Ops 2, which was the number one best-selling game for the period. Like, dude, fuck all this. Like, this is why. This is why. Listen to me. Listen. Okay? This is it. This is it. I can't read no more. Everybody who's bitching about Sony, like, literally post proof. I want to see millions of people posting fucking proof that you have either destroyed or sold your PlayStation and have no tethers to Sony at all, because this is fucking retarded. Like, I just had to sit here and I was part of it. I literally was part of it because I'm like, we can do it, until I realized, okay, we can't do shit. But I'm like, this is why. I'm like, stop fucking posting. No disc, no buy under the fucking comments. I've reached this point. Man. I say this as somebody who wants discs. Stop fucking posting that shit so you can get more likes and post a fucking picture of your PS5 in pieces. Okay? I want you to don't live stream yourself, but like film a short clip of yourself going into GameStop and selling your games or selling them on eBay, something, because clearly this is all bullshit. It's all smoke and mirrors. Okay? Like, I had to watch what seemed to be the greatest meltdown in PlayStation history, deservedly so. Mind you, I'm not against it. I'm for it because I think what Sony's doing is nuts. But that's the thing. People say it's all fake outrage. It fucking is. It is. Like, it's disgustingly so. Like, not like if you had told me, I'm kind of shocked by this data because it's like, you're telling me they beat Nintendo in dollar sales? What the fuck? Like, but that's, and I understand it's like, oh yeah, the PS5 sales are still down 39%, but I'm like, dude, that's irrelevant. At this point, that's basically irrelevant because, again, I want to remind you, like, it's a reminder, like, look at the way the shit supposedly hit the fan starting July 1st. Look, maybe I'm losing the forest for the trees here. And I'm just, as you can tell, I'm having a visceral, emotional reaction because I was looking for more hope. And instead, I got the opposite. And it's like, but see, Cheese, even when you say that, it's nearly twice the price. I know that. Well, no. Hold on. That's not true. The Switch is $500, right? It's $500. The PS5 is $600. The digital PS5 is $600, and that's at this point clearly what most people are going to buy. So, like, I'm not trying to make it sound like Sony's doing great. I want to make it understood. Like, it's still 39% down sales, not great. But it's like, there's nothing, like, they're not what I personally had hope in. The thing that I put my hope into was crushed. Okay? Snapped into, ground into dust, and okay? And the thing that I had personally put my hope into was, guys, we got the next 3 months to try to show these motherfuckers what we mean business. Just to find out that, bro, the literal first 4 weeks, they're making more money than Nintendo. The top selling game is Black Ops 2. Oh, so they dropped the Black Ops 2 remake. No, it's just a straight port. There's no hope. This is probably why Sean Spartan sent me his 4090, because he's like, it ain't going to change, man. So just embrace the greatness that is 4K, 240 FPS gaming. And this is why I say, like, when I talk to you guys about Sony's got to come out and they got to make some crazy, amazing announcements for the PS6 in terms of, like, how they're going to make it the best digital ecosystem. And they're not doing anything. I'm not saying they're not doing anything, but it's like, dude, they don't have to do anything. That's the problem. So it's like, and this is where I will continue to say that, well, hold on, Sony has Wolverine, better versions of third party and GTA, goddamn 6 coming out in 3 months, but can't beat Switch 2 on unit basis. If you don't think this is bad for Sony, then you're just blind. Well, no, hold on. I'm like, you remember how I told you guys, like, Sony is too well insulated. And that's, like, to be honest, what I'm most frustrated about right now. I don't think Sony is in the clear. Like, when I say we can't do anything, what I'm trying to really highlight is that collectively, the activists, like, and I'm not saying that in such a negative way, but it's like right now there are people that have decided they want to be activists in the space. And what they're being active about is, hey, we're going to push back against Sony and this disc thing. And I was part of that for a little bit until I very quickly realized, like, this isn't going to work. Like, this is not going to do literally anything. I hate to say that because it makes us feel weak, it makes us feel powerless, but it's just the truth. Our numbers are not that great, and there's not enough unity, period. People are not going to not play games, period. That's just not going to fucking happen, So my frustration truly is that this is why I'm saying, like, people need to you need to take it up the next level, or you got to just you got to go back to your home base, prepare and lie in wait. Because I just feel like at this point, man, the energy that people are putting into this, because surely they're not just doing it for clicks. I'm not spreading propaganda, bro. Why are you saying I'm spreading propaganda? No, what I am saying is that we're going to see Sony break literal records in the next 6 months. Okay? We're going to see them break records, and they're going to be on fucking cloud 9. And you're going to continue to see people typing in their comments, no disc, no buy. This is why I keep saying, like, if people really want to, like, you can choose not to buy GTA 6. You can choose to unplug your PlayStation. You're not going to matter. I'm here to just give you the honest to God truth. That, like, nobody cares. Sony's not going to care. Rockstar's not going to care. Maybe you'll get a couple likes on social media, but then those people who are liking it are probably in the process of buying it themselves. So they don't fucking care, ultimately. They're just giving you a thumbs up. However, what you have to do, this is my advice. This is my sincere advice to the people who still, like, if you really believe that Sony they're not in a great state right now, we can do something about it, you gotta wait for the PS6 reveal. And here's what you gotta hope for. See, the PS6 reveal alone is not going to be enough. There has to be a specific sequence of events that happen in this. I don't want to say in a specific order, but there has to be certain events that happen. It's not just the PS6 reveal. It's the PS6 has to be revealed. Sony has to make announcements that don't have the juice. Okay? In other words, they're struggling to generate actual hype and excitement. And a good example of this would be they reveal the PS6. Here's, like, some games for the PS6. And people are like, ooh, But then, like, after the show's over, it's kind of like, you see what's happening with Wolverine right now? Imagine that, but, like, for next gen. Except it's, let me put it to you this way. Wolverine, and I'm not a fan of this because I actually feel depressed about it, but it's like, the reality is people are being harsh on Wolverine on the previews. Now, let me ask you this. Does that mean it's going to sell poorly? Probably not. Probably not, no. Why is that? There's 95 million PlayStations out there. This game's going to sell millions, more than likely. It's going to be fine. But does that mean there isn't consternation, frustration, and a lot of ill will being thrown at Wolverine? No, there absolutely is. It's all over the internet. So what I'm saying is, imagine that same, I guess you could say, negativity is there day one with the PlayStation, not just the PlayStation 6 console, but some of the games that are announced for it. At that point, and this is why I'm saying certain events have to happen. if Sony comes out and they're like, yeah, this is a PS6 exclusive, if people are not like, if it's not like GTA 6 levels or like, I don't know, Last of Us 1 levels, like it's got to have like insane hype behind it. If it doesn't have that, like, it's not going to go down the same way as Wolverine because it's a new gen. It's like, isn't this game good enough for you to go buy a $900 or $1,000 PlayStation 6? And people are going to say, you're high, Sony. You're drunk. Go home. Like, that's why I'm saying, like, the people who have this energy, I understand that they're trying to continue to keep a certain movement going, but like, no, dude, that the flame is already extinguished. And it's not even just by Sony. It's not just Wolverine. It's all these games and GTA 6 coming out. The flame is extinguished. There's embers, though. All you got to do, keep those embers going. If you want to strike, that's going to be the time. But, and this is a big but, Sony has to continue to fuck up. So what I'm trying to tell these people, think of it like this. Sony makes a fucking crazy-ass announcement that blows up the internet, and they say, no more discs. And the shit hits the fan. Everybody hates Sony. It's nothing but negativity and hatred and vitriol spewed at them for, almost 2 months now. But what's the counter? Like, something's got to counter it because they're not collapsing. They're doing okay. The counter is exactly what I'm highlighting. It's the fact that, well, you have an undeniable barrage of fucking games. You have an undeniable barrage of games that it's like, so who's not playing these games? And hardly anybody. Some people are going to be like, yeah, I'm not playing them. But the vast majority of people are either going to stay silent because they're playing it, or they're just going to be like, yeah, I'm playing it. And Sony knows that. But I need you to understand what makes that so easy for people is you have the console already. Look at what so many people are saying. They're like, yeah, I'm going to quit Sony when the PS6 comes around. This is my last console. It's because like you already have the console. I'm saying if you want to see, if you plan on doing any kind of damage, you have to hope that Sony, when they announce the PS6, that they have no aces up their sleeve, man. Because if they do, if they have a couple aces up their sleeve, like, what aces do they have up their sleeve? I mean, look at GTA 6 is the biggest ace that any platform holder could have up their sleeve. I mean, it's not Sony's game, but it's Rockstar's. But still, it's like, who do you think's benefiting the most from it, platform-wise, console-wise? Someone should do an MBG montage from the no disc announcements to now. I mean, it would be funny, but I'm just saying, it's like, look, man, if we could get a movement large enough where it's like everybody's getting rid of their PlayStations, it's over. That would be crazy. It'd be like, then Sony would fucking listen. Sony would be out and be like, wait, no, stop, please. But we can't. You can't, there's tens of millions of active PlayStation users on PS5. They're not doing shit. And that's all I'm saying. So the timing of this on Sony's part was so, they knew what they were doing. That's the thing that still frustrates me about it. They knew what they were doing. Oh, Jedi Guy, you came back, bro? Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm like ranting now. Rich Rod drops a $2 direct. He says, I don't want to do it, man. Hick seems like a great guy, but if we don't get 300 gifts, he will have to be the sacrifice. Thank you for your service, Hick, bro. All right, Rich, not 200. Let's just get to 100. Hick, Rich, stand down. I make the executive decisions around here. We get to 100. Hick, you're safe. Oh, Hick drops a $2 super chat. Says it's hard for me to go all digital. How are you? Wait, how are you? I mean, I don't want to go all digital. You know, it's not what I want. But I realize like it's not that there's no choice. It's just the only other alternative is back collect games, which I've thought about, but I don't know. I don't know that I'm going to do that. You know, I just was the type of person where when there was new games coming out, like, you know, I look forward to buying them physically. And I've really just been leaning into this notion that like, yeah, that's not happening. You know, like it'll happen right now. It'll happen right now. But it's not happening anymore after January 2028, and that's going to be here before we know it. And I just like my read on that is like that's not happening after the PS6. So it's I don't know, man. It's like there's a version of me that imagines like, well, what if I did just embrace digital? I could clearly do it for Steam and whatnot. It's like, what would it be that bad? But it's like it depends on Sony. As it stands right now, like a digital, you know, I'm like I don't want to make it look. I don't want to be too hyperbolic about it, even though I tend to do this a lot and I can't help it. But it's like, I'm not going to sit here and bullshit somebody, even if sometimes I want to, not intentionally, but it's like, it's just, you know, it's the emotional drive of it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, I'm not going to sit here and talk to a person where it's like, yeah, I just buy all my games digital on PlayStation. I have for the past 5 years and it's fine. I'm not going to tell that person like you're fucking wrong, you know, when you should be miserable and angry and you shouldn't do that. I don't feel like I should pocket watch like that. And that's not my place because because here's what they'll say to me, bro, I have all my games and I can boot them up at any time. And what I'm asking them to do is you need to be scared about the what if. Now, granted, there are things I can point out that Sony has done where it's like that fear of the what if, maybe there's some genuine reason to have that fear, you know? What is it, bro, going to HR or something if we don't hit 200? Wait, that means if we don't hit the goal, visiting BG might take away the cookies. No, this can't happen. Hashtag save the cookies. We got to hit the goal. Yeah, I'm threatening the cookies now. I'm just kidding. You know what? We hit 100 members. Here's what I'll do for you guys because I'm such a nice guy. I'm such a generous soul. I'll go get a peanut butter cookie and I'll eat it. And you can enjoy it through me vicariously. It's not a mukbang. Just to be clear. Xbox. Well, hold on, you're saying you wouldn't tell them that, you just don't like control and relinquish to Sony with all digital. Well, yeah, that's the thing. PSN monthly active users before the blackout 140.54 million. Monthly active users during the blackout 40.31 million. Oh, I don't think that's, I don't know. I think you're making those numbers up, but like, look, I think people, I'm going to be real. I think a lot of people bullshit themselves. Okay. And I don't think they do it purposely. I don't think they do it intentionally. I say this as somebody with experience where it's like, I think people's hearts are in the right place, but I just think like at the end of the day, like, bro, I'm not going to lie to you. I watched an 1.5 hour long video, okay, this morning of a guy who was in a horrific accident, who got cut in half and lost his arm, and he's just a torso and an arm. Okay. And I listened to his whole story. Oh, Fred, what's up, man? Long time no see. Better dip in a whipped cream while I'm at it. Actually, that's a pretty good idea. But I'm just saying, like, I'm over here listening to this man's story. It's incredibly inspirational. And, you know, I won't lie. Like, it puts things in perspective. Where I'm like, I think the guy likes the game too. He had a Sly Cooper tattoo, bro, which I was shocked by. I'm like, Sony, come on, bro. Come on, don't be mean, bro. But I'm just saying. Was I insensitive? I didn't mean that in an insensitive way. I'm just saying, like, literally all that was left of his body was his torso. You know? It's like an insane thing to imagine. But the whole reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm just listening to this and I'm like, it puts things in perspective where, like, man, these problems are nothing. Like, quite literally nothing. Like, boo hoo, my video games. Like, it's like, okay. Yeah, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it justifies things. When we're focused on certain things, we have to call the things out for what they are. Like, bad is bad, wrong is wrong, period. But it just it makes me take a step back and be like, maybe most of us don't have it as bad as we think we do. Like, maybe it really would take something to happen to a person to realize, like, no video game talk for a whole week. That sounds incredible. Jeez, don't tempt me. Do not tempt me. Come on, I could do that easy, bro. Now, here's the problem, though. If I were to do no video game talk for a week, my chat can't adhere to that. But I could do that. Although, it would probably really tank things. Every day, different subject. Day number 1, why are you gay? Day number 2, why am I gay? Day number 3, I don't know. Why is Microsoft, not Xbox, gay? Oh, I think I missed a direct donation. Hold on. Rich, you're saying my neighbor has constantly put his branches and leaves in front of my house. I'm trying not to go MB gangsta on him, but it's getting hard, man. Butterscotch. Well, Tarnished. I said Tarnished. Sorry, I was reading what Tarnished was saying. Tarnished Rich Rod. Listen, don't tarnish your relationship with your neighbor. What I would recommend is just talk to him. Assume your neighbor's a reasonable person. And if you feel truly like you have to do or say something, just let him know kindly. Just be like, hey, man, like, it's a little bit uncomfortable for me, but you've been putting your stuff on my lawn and it's kind of getting in the way. It's bothering me a little bit. Do you think you could, like, keep an eye out for that? No. Okay. Rich just says nope. Love that. But I'm just, like, because it's like, if at that point the person can't be reasonable, then then yeah, that's going to be an uncomfortable situation. MBG took a few months off, detoxed off all tech, and it feels strange using it again. Damn, dude. Yeah, I wish I could know what that's like. I mean, you're saying all tech. I don't know that I could do all technology, but yeah, it probably does feel strange. Probably feels okay, You're probably a much healthier person mentally and psychologically. Get him back, buy him an Xbox. Yeah, just leave an Xbox on his lawn, bro. That'll teach him. I don't know, man. Like, I'm not... MG, it would sound like I'm picking, but I'm not. It will only work one time, but I can tell you how to get to 100 right now. Wait, what are you talking about, Tribal Chief? Oops. Hold up. What? Oh, you're saying what's the payoff for $100 more catnip? None of this will be revealed until next gen when they're starting from scratch. I mean, like, I still maintain that the biggest key factor for Sony, and I'm trying not to, it's so hard for me not to make assumptions. I'm going back and forth. Me going back and forth is basically me trying to assume all options could be possible. But the biggest key factor is whether or not they're going to announce massive overhauls and changes. If not massive, just significant improvements to their digital ecosystem. Because I still firmly believe, man, like Sony is not ready. That's the whole thing. Like, I understand that they're talking about all these people are buying digital games now, and that's true, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're in the best position. So it's like, if you're not going to bring back discs, you got to do something. I'm going to put this in perspective for everyone. Bro, thank you in advance. We as a society always get temperature checks from the entertainment industry first. Others will follow. What the gaming industry and Sony as an entertainment conglomerate and leader is doing right now, I don't know about you guys, but I personally don't want to have a refrigerator that demands a card. Oh, man. Yeah, you got to listen. I just got my smart fridge. I'm trying to set it up. You got to enter your credit card info, your debit card info. Yeah. You got to give it your bank routing number. Yo, the Dusk Bloods looks really good, by the way. Yeah, I was looking at that. Well, that's why I'm saying, like, one of the only ways Sony's going to see, like, I want to go back to this. I know I've used this word already. And, you know, I should probably try to rein it in. But, like, I just have to, I think Sony's kind of retarded. Not the entirety of Sony, but, like, I don't know if it's their I mean, maybe it's some of their executives. Stop it, Tribal Chief. Now's not a good time. I didn't shave. Earlier I said happy Sunday. How was your weekend, brother? How's the neck and back? I'll catch up later. About to go watch The Matrix in 35mm on our way home, though. Well, Dwayne, appreciate that, bro. My weekend was pretty good. Got some cookies, that's for sure. Got some workouts in. Neck's feeling okay. It's you know, it's fluctuating a bit. But I'm saying this about Sony. Because I just can't believe that this is what they thought they should say. No interviews with any of the devs. Hardly, you know, I mean, it's the communication is the worst it's ever been. And this is why I can't be mad at people for hating Sony on the internet. How it translates into real life, that's a whole nother thing. But, like, when I am reading that he's, you know, yeah, we're lucky that this RAM crisis is happening at the end of the life cycle. We can just monetize. We're going to monetize our 125 million monthly active users. That's quite important for us. Well, you know, fucking Hiroki Totoki, I sure as shit hope that you have a fucking plan to, you know, change how you're going to monetize. Like, I get you're going to monetize, but I don't know, man. Like, they had to take notes from Valve. I've said it before, I'll say it again. They had to take notes. If Sony doesn't take notes from Valve, this isn't about money. Okay? It's not about money. Valve is a very successful privately owned company. Sony is a very successful conglomerate, but, you know, they're publicly traded, and I get it. Sony makes way more money in the bigger picture of it all, but, like, no, dude, like, this is about understanding happy customers are going to be loyal customers. Okay? That's it. Happy customers are loyal customers. So when you make a customer happy, they'll in turn be loyal. When they're loyal, what does that mean for you? It means more money. Not just more money today, not just more money tomorrow, but more money over the course of years. That's why the loyalty aspect is important. And Sony just, these fucking people that they like, just the way they're talking, they talk like fucking robots. They talk like we're not people. I'm tired of it. Ray, you're saying Dust Blood's physical PO. Cats tried to do catnip. Ray, I don't even know what I said. I don't know what you said. Duskblood's physical PO and cat. Oh, sorry. Yes, Duskblood's. I would welcome that. Have the cats tried the new catnip? They have. I think they like it. Although I don't know, something's going on. I had multiple cats come in here earlier, but they just left it. That wasn't the new catnip, by the way. I used a little bit of the old one. That was the first one I grabbed. And I gave them these aren't your treats either. I don't know. Maybe they're waiting for the new stuff. If you support the Black Opera, I say that you take a week off from talking about gaming with the exception of an occasional general update video. It'd be kind of cool to get to know more about you. Perhaps. I mean, I have to be, I don't know. This would be the worst fucking week to do that. I don't know. I don't mind. My hope is to do a couple members lounges, Like that's when I would like to do a couple members lounges where they're not. I mean, we've done it many times before in previous streams, but we'll do members lounges where we can just be more chill, just more, talking about life stuff and regular stuff and people stuff. This week, though, I mean, yeah, there's Gamescom, there's the GTA gameplay reveal, but it's tough too because, like, I don't know, I've been taking a long break from making videos. I had to take a break from making videos, dude, because it's just not the way YouTube is set up. It's very damaging psychologically. I gotta be honest, but say we all get into carpentry work and start a commune instead, bro. Yeah, that'll go great for me. Yeah.
I am.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'll make sure we check that out. The weirdest thing I've seen, though, man, I fear what's happened to the internet, Like, I mean, you guys saw how there was, like, some negative pushback for the Wolverine previews. Dude, I see these, like, random videos pop up for me. And they're so bad. Did I pre-order the Duskbloods physical? I didn't. No, not yet. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let me switch live chat. Oops. I did it. I keep doing it. I did it again. I did not see Skill Up's preview. What was the gist of it, Sparky Nuts? But I see these, like, videos that pop up. And it's out of, I don't know, man. I'm not going to lie. It feels like it's all gone to shit. Where, like, I feel like the reason why I hate to say, but it's like I can hardly hear any proper criticism is because it's like there's like these people, they're like, yeah, no, we're not looking to actually properly criticize it. And it's one of these things where it's like, yeah, I'm just going to have to go with my gut on this one. I'm going to go with my intuition, which is usually the case, but Yo, is that one that's out on physical? And if so, is there anybody else besides you in the house that's going? You want a copy? Oh, what? Of the Duskbloods? The Duskbloods would probably just, it'd probably just be me. I don't think Mrs. MBG is into, she's definitely not into From Software games. Didn't you just want to play your games? Yeah, and that's true too. The playing of the games. The playing of the games. Sorry, I'm like zoning out here. Dude, I'm sorry. It's the peanut butter cookie that I ate earlier. I'm finally crashing. It's finally happened. He was underwhelmed with the gameplay, though it felt similar. Thought it felt similar to Spider-Man without enough Wolverine flair. Was impressed by the story, though, and thought it seemed better than Spider-Man 2. Interesting. Not enough Wolverine flair. I wonder what that means. Yeah, I mean, I think there's probably some. I would assume that, like, if I was done playing Wolverine, I would assume, like, yeah, there's going to be imperfections and blemishes that I'm going to look at and be like, eh. Yeah, I saw that, Buzz. It looks insane. We get a Mrs. MBG cameo. Maybe sometime this week, yeah. I don't know. Well, I'll see if I can set up another morning with the Mrs. this Friday. I'm not sure, though. I'll update you guys on that. Yes, a spoiler war from CyberLeak. But MBG, before I went to the cinema, I went to London's biggest and best retro games fair. I got there late and didn't get to look around properly and look at consoles and get games. Damn. That sucks, bro. Well, I mean, it's cool that you got to see it at all, but yeah. It seems like one of those things where you would have wanted some time to shop around. But guys, actually, here's what we're going to do. We're going to wrap this stream up in about 5 minutes. I don't want to just keep going for the. I did cover the 2 main topics that I wanted to discuss today. So we'll do like a last call here. If you guys want to drop any more support, unfortunately, Hick, if we don't hit 100 members between now and the next 5 minutes, I'll check the MightyKeef video out as well. You're toast, bro. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Hick is safe. Relax. But yeah, if you guys want to drop any more support, now would be the time to do it. I'm going to bring that MightyKeef video up. Just give me 1 sec. Okay. So this one is titled, although I have to fix it because the screen is all. Oh no. Oh yeah, it's all weird because when we were watching that Black Myth gameplay. This one's called When Rockstar Finds Out Who Leaked GTA 6 Again.
Yes, the time has come. It's time I leak everything. I'm leaking gameplay. I'm leaking cutscenes. I'm leaking the strip club. I'm leaking Lucina's. Hello? Take that ugly purple shirt off, boy. Your big ass look like the Grimace mascot from McDonald's. How do you know what I have on? Oh, I see everything, always. I know everything about you. I know everything about all the people trying to hack the greatest game to ever exist, ever. How do you even know your game will do well? I'm like the Attack Titan, boy. I can see the future, and I'm about to make your wallets rumble. Now hand over that $100. How can you sleep at night knowing you're charging your most loyal customers $100 to play a game they've been waiting on for 13 years? Oh, I sleep like I'm at a Jigglypuff concert, boy. Now here's what's gonna happen. You see that jar of Nutella and scissors right next to you?
What the hell?
Yeah? Yeah, first thing we're gonna do is take those and shove them up your ass. Oh my God, no. Then we're gonna pull up to your mom's house, put her in a box, and then send that woman to Mars. Please, not my mom's, man. We gonna put.
Bro, so this is supposed to be Rockstar talking to the damn leaker. Announcing or broadcasting your Verizon in light of Sony. There's one thing that I know all of us would love to hear a little more about. What kind of games on PC is your focus? Yeah, well, I do have the Metal Gear collection on PC. That's coming out in just a couple days. And I do have Gears of War E-Day pre-ordered as well. Really curious about E-Day, bro.
Put an avatar of you in the game so that people could shoot you up. Oh, no. We're gonna carve our logo into your forehead. You not seeing a prison cell, buddy. We're sending you to Jerusalem, and you gonna talk to the Lord. Oh my God, please. We finna boil you, and
we're gonna boil
you, motherfucker. We gonna waterboard you. But it's not water. It's just lava. Netflix
we're gonna boil you and eat you.
$1 billion, in addition to all of their employees' firstborn sons. And I'm gonna use all that power to send you to hell. How you gonna paywall the first gameplay trailer to the most famous game on the planet? By signing the contract. Pre-orders hit $400 million. And I'm gonna find 400 million ways to make your life miserable. See you on the 27th.
Or that's
God damn, man. I mean, yeah, that was a pretty good one, but I don't know. I think that's how Rockstar wishes they could be right now, but I don't know that they're in that position yet. But another good MightyKeef video. He always does a good job. Hold on. All right, let me head back so we can wrap this up. It'd be awesome if you step into something Warhammer 40K related, even if only on an experimental basis. Yeah, I did want to try the that Warhammer game that Saber made. The Ori director says Ori 3 rumors are BS. Oh shit. No, Hicks is fine, bro. Hicks is fine. Warhammer 40K Space Marine, I think. Yeah, Space Marine 2. Yeah, that game looked really good. I would still like to try that. I used to buy gaming magazines. I think I used to be subscribed to like Game Informer for a long time. Long time. Stop it, Rich. All right, guys. Yeah, I mean, the whole Warhammer universe, like the lore seems so deep, man. Yeah, I think that's why it kind of appealed to me. It looks like Space Marine 2. It's more like it feels like more like my type of game. It's just a kind of like straight up action shooter. So we'll see. But guys, that's going to do it for today's stream. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today and thank everybody for their support. If you dropped any membership gifts, if you became a member, if you dropped any super chats or direct donations, thank you all so much for that. I can only do what I do here because you guys make it possible. So big shout out to the community. And also want to make sure to give a big shout out to Devil Shooter. He does the timestamps for the streams. If you guys see him in the comments with those timestamps, give him some thanks. Show him some love. I know he appreciates it. So Devil Shooter, thank you for redoing. Only other thing I'm going to ask you guys is make sure you hit that like button on your way out, and we should be back here hopefully tomorrow. Okay? So that's it. Guys, please enjoy the rest of your day, evening, or night. I will catch you all in the next one. Until then, take care, everyone.